Although in this video, we're going to go from the very beginning of the game to getting your bike, the Trooper trainer, the Planetologist trainer, building your first iron base, what you want to look for, water, and then I'm also going to show you how the BENE GESSERIT takes on a dungeon solo. Chapters, if you want to skip ahead, enjoy the video. If you want to have a nice start, you want to collect all of the scrap and copper that you see with your cutter as you traverse, and start making your way to this purple icon over here. We had a really bad start, and I'm going to tell you why. We're really far away from this mission objective. The second thing I want to say is just collect the material. Don't craft anything unless it specifically asks you to. There are a few items in the game, as far as the questline is concerned, that you won't get the fulfillment for unless you do it in that proper order. So right now it wants me to research makeshift clothing in the research menu by picking up as much as possible. So we already picked up 120 plant fiber. We're gonna go to our research and we're going to unlock this. So this clothing is pretty crappy, but it's better than, you know, what we got going on right here. But I do feel that my mustache will keep us mighty warm. So I think we got that going on for us. So we're gonna craft the hood, the gloves, the pants, the shoes, and the jacket. And then you can just hit F to equip. You don't have to drag and drop it. So we're gonna equip. And you know, considering that I've never taken a sewing class or anything, I think we look pretty badass for just using some basic plant fiber, right? There we are. So we're looking sharp. We got ourselves kitted here. Like I said, pick up all the scrap you see. You'll thank yourself later when you need a bajillion copper ingots. We're getting a little bit low. So our first dew meter down in the bottom left, we're gonna hold E and hydrate ourselves just to get up to the first, our dew limit was reached. And the gentleman that you heard on the radio, he talks a lot. I think he has a kind of unhealthy obsession with your main character. But let's get all this copper. Yeah, you gotta have yourself a very nice mustache. Pretty much a survival 101 right there. All right, let's get this. So basically what we're doing, like I said, is just getting as many resources as possible. When you make your first base and you want to get your ore refinery down, you will be so happy. We're gonna go off and get our bike, and we're gonna need a lot of this oh man, this is hard. This guy's, yeah, okay, screw it. Some of this, sometimes you just need to know when to fold them. So we're gonna run over, and we need a little bit of scrap. So scrap is typically around the edges. These are fuel cells, which we will use later. You'll also want to not use all your fuel cells when we build our first base. You'll want a little bit so that you can craft your first fuel cell for your bike. That is one of the big handicaps. Also why you need a ton of copper and scrap for the game. Ooh, look at that. We got ourselves a little bird. I might have to engage in combat here. Yep. We're going to use our force abilities. All right, we'll screw that. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right. So this is a little tricky, but it'll be okay. We're going to use our force abilities on this last guy. And we're going to stab him to death. Perfect. Got a little bit there. Okay, we have the improvised power pack. We have everything that we need. We're going to make a few heal kits. I'm just going to craft a few of these bad boys. We want to keep ourselves decent, but a lot of scrap could be found in these camps. So we'll get this scrap. All right, look at us go. And we're going to get this loot. We're going to need a good amount of scrap. These camps are probably some of the better places to get them early game. So we're going to craft 3 of these bad boys and get ourselves a pistol. We need to get the respawn beacon. So we're just, like I said, going to follow the quest line as it's presented to us. Okay, we got our beacon. This is just a little beacon you place down so that you have a place to spawn. I never pay any mind to it. Get this scrap. So now it wants me to the binoculars. So here's a funny thing about these binoculars, man. I literally have not ever used my binoculars. Like, to do anything. I just run up at stuff and I hit it in the face. Pretty much how you play the BENE GESS. So yeah, it just wants me to find some people. You actually don't even have to scout with the binoculars to get this mission. You can just literally just run up and find them. But we're getting an enormous amount of scrap. So I think we're going to be in really good shape. It shoots a little bit above where you're looking at. I think that's a glitch. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We got a little bit of money, a little bit of everything. All right, use my ability to kill scavengers. We're going to go suck off some plants. It's a good day to Dune. Iced coffee. All right, we got our dew limit. So it wants me to use my ability to kill. This person's actually kind of screwing me up, and I really wish they'd go away. But there's always someone who has to make your day a little bit more difficult. So we're going to run... Ooh, is that copper? Yeah, we're going to get this copper. We're actually going to get this granite too, because this is going to be part of the early game mission. We want to make sure we don't fill up too much. We're at 112 of 175. All right, let's get this. But yeah, it's a little tedious, but doing all this is really going to save you some time. And we have to be a little careful because of the worms. We don't have too much. We're going to go to our skills, and we're going to learn our fast Bendu spirit. This is the reason why I suggest everyone start off as a BENE Gesserit. My favorite class for someone who's learning the game is the BENE Gess. And then my favorite class in general is the Mentat. But this is why I like the BENE Gess. It makes the early game running just that much more feasible for you. Okay, let's patch ourselves up a little bit. Someone put a base over here. We're getting a little full, so we're just going to keep going. So we just need to kill scavengers at this point and continue the mission line. We'll get this. So just, yeah, anything you see on your way, pick it up. Yeah, it makes traversing. So over there is our first crash site. So you can see we're on the north side, and that really sucks. I'm not going to lie. Because we have to get down to the south. We have to get down to the south side, which means we have to cross worm territory. But because we're a BENE Gess, we're going to be able to cross it really easily. And I'm already getting full up, so usually you don't start this far away from everybody. So open skills menu. Yeah, we're gonna learn recovery. This increases our healing regen limit. Perfect. All right, let's keep making our way. So you can see it stopped working when I ran out of stamina. We have more than enough resources, to be honest. We're almost full inventory. Usually you start really close to this, so this is like the worst start that you can possibly get right now. We're gonna head south and then over. And we're just going to keep using our ability. Oh, good God. We're already pissing off the worm. I think that's the closest ridge I can get to. So let's get out of the worm meter. All right. And then I'm going to wait for my skill to proc, and we're going to go. Now, the worm will pop out of the ground and say hello to you first in the starting area. So if you see the worm, don't freak out initially. You have around 10 to 15 seconds before it will really actually come to kill you. All right, and we're in the sun. So let me get the shade. There you go. Now you can hear the beautiful Dune music, which is really, really important. Perfect. One thing I will suggest too is that you collect as much plant fiber as possible, because it's a little bit harder to find in the northern territories. And yeah, we will eventually be going upwards. All right, cool. So we're in the south side. So this is actually right here, one of the easiest places to cross. So we got a little bit lucky there. But yeah, we're just gonna keep making our way to the first starting area there. All right, now it wants me to make a base, but we're gonna make our base a little bit closer to area. Let's get some granite. All right, let's check our inventory. Yeah, we're getting close. Oops, wrong button. So we're just gonna get a little bit as we go, but we have a little bit of a distance to go. The BENE Gess is also really cool because you get a lot of like health bonuses and things like that. I am not even going to mess around with some of this stuff. I think I just want the money. I'm also trying to get as much money as possible right now. Not everything... Yeah, fuel cells are good. Not everything's going to give you what you want. Alright, so we're in kind of a pickle here. We just walked into a big area. We do... Oh, shit. We need to find plants. We need to find some plants to suck off immediately. But once I run out of water... There we go. We got some plants over there. Yeah, once I run out of water, things get a little tricky. So you'll just continue going plant to plant. Perfect. We're getting close. So it's over there. So we're just going to keep going basin to basin. Now it wants me to build a base, which we will do. Hopefully we don't get caught in a sandstorm. That would suck. But yeah, it's pretty easy to avoid worms if you just go point to point like what I'm showing you. Of course, we want to stay out of the sun because we don't have a whole lot of water. Okay, we're in good shape. I think that's... Holy cow, that is a plant. Yeah, hydrate when you can. So we're almost there. We're getting close. We're going to build our base. I suggest you build your base where there's a lot of copper nodes. So this is actually a really good location back here. I typically try to go for 3 copper nodes. So we're going to build our first little base. And we're going to build it in this little nook here. If we can. I need to make sure that there's no points of interest. Okay, there are 2 points of interest there. But, yeah, unfortunately. Well, we know the nodes are here. So let's run around and try to find a spot. I think over here might work. So now it wants me to unlock basic construction. It's also going to want me to unlock the blood and the blood sucker and the blood purifier. So we're just going to do that now, but we're not going to craft anything. Like I said, that's part of the quest line. So now we're going to craft our basic construction tool. Beautiful. Beautiful day on Arrakis. So yeah, okay, so we need to build our sub-fief console. This is a no-build zone. So the worms won't come into this area here, even though it does look like it's on open sand. So we're going to just place our sub-fief there. Something to note is if someone destroys the tile underneath a sub-fief, it will destroy your entire thing. So what we've been doing is keeping the sub-fief in the ground. Just an FYI, if you give someone access to your building, they can destroy your entire fief if you put it on top of something like this. Now what I do is a simple 4x4, and I just jam everything in it. We're not going to stay down here that long, so we don't need to worry about this place. We're actually going to abandon the space. You just need it to be big enough to jam everything that you need into here. And then we're going to place an interface like such. And I'm going to make a nicer area here in a moment. So let's just get the roof on. In the shade. That was dangerous. There we go. Cool. There we are. So this is it. This is a basic base. And let's move around. Let's go find a plant to suck on. We need to get some... Yeah, we need to identify where we're going to get the majority of our liquid from. Right back there. Perfect. Oh, God. Alright, so you see, this person has a shield, but when they shoot, the shield goes down. I just need to suck this plant. So let me suck it. Alright. We're in good shape. I'm not playing around. She might actually come down here, though. She's a jerk. But, yeah, we'll do some ass kicking here in a bit. So now I just need to get my basic base stuff up. If you're wondering how thieves work and you have friends, you basically just come up here and hit E. And you can add people. You can rename the thief. You can do tons of stuff. Permissions. I'm going to add... I'm the Mustache King. This is my buddy, Binary. So I'm going to add him to this thief. So if he comes by, he can now access some of this stuff as long as I have it set to associate. I'm going to add a better entry point too. But let's just get the basic stuff down. So what it wants me to do is get up my fuel generator. This provides energy to the shields, which help keep it safe from the sandstorms that are frequent in the Haga Basin. All right. So I don't want to give it all of my fuel cells, and I can give it 80. Actually, I'll pick up some more. So 80 fuel cells is going to give us about 80 hours. It's about an hour per fuel cell. That's a couple days worth of energy right there. So now we're protected. We have our first coffin-like base. Now, the mistake I made when I first started playing this game is I spent like 4 or 5 hours building my first base, and you immediately are told to abandon it. So, I won't steal your thunder if that's what you want to do, because it is a lot of fun. But just something to keep in mind. All right, so I'm going to drop off everything here.
The generator fueled, the storms will tear at your walls. And it goes
keep my money.
Saying, don't build on open sand.
All right.
Seal your base, off-worlder. Maintain good water.
So we're going to craft the blood extractor now.
Keep you alive.
So if you want to craft things in your inventory, you have to have the resources in your inventory. But if you want to craft anything in the base, it can pull from every container that there is. It's just something that's a little annoying. So we're going to make 2 sacks of blood and a blood extractor. But going forward, we'll just use the fabricator, and it will pull from all sources within inside of our base. Pretty sweet. All right, we got our sacks. So I'm going to put those. You can put them in your inventory. They don't have to be on your hotbar for you to, you know, put stuff into them. And then what we want are the items that we're actually going to be using. Very, very good. Let's patch up. Make sure we're fully healed. So we need to locate, kill scavengers. So we're going to continue the quest line. Now, you can almost completely skip the entire quest line once you get to this point. And just go straight north, which is what we're going to try to do. Things are a little... Yeah, we're at 22 minutes. I was hoping to at least have been in the dungeon by now, but unfortunately, I spawned just way too far away. Alright, so I'm going to parry. Watch this. There we go. So once you know how to parry and everything, these enemies aren't really that crazy. Ooh, we got armpit blood this time. Usually I get it from the butt or the foot, but we're going armpit this time. This is great. We're moving on up. We're getting... Nope, nope. Right back to the butt. Always back to the butt. He can't help him. He can't help himself. It's the mustache. The mustache probably speaks to him. There we go. Alright, we're going to get a little bit of scrap. I want to make sure that I have enough ammunition and other things, so let's craft a couple more sets of darts. So now we're going to run back to our base, which you can see is this nice little icon right here. Beautiful, isn't it? But yeah, Arrakis, they did such a wonderful job with this game. It's pretty awesome. All right, and then so we want to pick up fuel cells now that we're going to be using to craft the first fuel cell for our vehicle. And right now I'm just jumping in because I'm weirdo. And so what I want to do at this juncture is make our blood extractor. Now you can hit R, and I can just go straight into placeables. We're going to go into refineries. We're going to get our blood purifier. The things to note is that the water extraction efficiency of the tier 1 blood purifier is only 20%. The tier 2 is 40%. And then from there it goes into the Fremen death still, where you can drag bodies and get insane amounts of water. Water is used for a lot of advanced construction. It is not just a resource for your survival. It is literally the key ingredient to future crafting. Okay, so now we're gonna trip balls. So we have to do this thing where we have a hallucination.
Expands consciousness and triggers some very...
Yes, grinning cow. Everyone knows that everyone stores all of their water in their butt. It's just science. I don't know how it works, but... Alright, cool. So yeah, having hallucinations and tripping balls is a very common thing in this game. Now you get to see the stash up close, though. Oh yeah, glory.
Observe this valley, sacred to the Equan Bedouin.
Eventually we get to drink the blood of the Muad'Dibs, the mouse.
They faced the trials of Arrakis, proving their knowledge of the Fremen ways. Find the Fremen, she said. Seven tests, 7 steps. Set your feet.
That's why I went with the mullet and that mustache, because you know this guy gets down.
The uncertain path.
This man's tolerance to hallucinogenics are at all times high.
Death is stagnation.
I can't take him serious. That face. Okay, cool. So we just had our first psychedelic experience, and now we're going to the first trial, which is right here. So you see how I was able to achieve all of the beginning game quest lines, maximizing the amount of experience that I get for completing each of those at the same time. And now we're going to the first trial. So we're in good shape. Now the first trial is also a trippy experience, but we'll be good. So we're going to go around the edge. I'm not even going to fight right now. Right now our blood is purifying, and so we'll have water when we get back, but we don't necessarily need it. Let's just make sure that we're locked and loaded. So you will use a lot of different, weapons in this game. Right now we're on the bottom tier. And this cave, it took my friend and it took me, like, I'm not gonna lie, forever to find, because we were trying to enter the cave from the inside, but the entrance to this cave is on the outside. So yeah, evil Pikachu tells you to stab. Yeah, that's right. If evil Pikachu tells you to shank somebody, you better do it. Oh, look at that. There's a fuel. Look at all these fuel cells. All right, so we're gonna pick these up. We're gonna use these to make our bike fuel. So we'll probably want to pick up a bit more copper. You have to be able to unlock the Trooper class to get the Sugar Wire Claw. I'm gonna show. We're gonna unlock the Trooper We're gonna unlock the Trooper in this Let's Play, okay? I'm gonna show... This isn't just gonna be a speed run. This is gonna be a complete speed run. I'm gonna do everything. We might even get into the Planetologist if I have time. But we're gonna unlock the Trooper. So this is a modified run of mine. So yes, we will unlock the Trooper, get the Shigarwara Claw. So you have to run up the side here, and this is where we go to our first place to trip balls. So this is the cave. There's actually bats in here. So I didn't know Dune had bats at all until I played this game. Honestly, there were a bunch of giveaways, and that's how all my friends got keys. There was one from Razer, and there's one for PC Gamer where they had like thousands of keys. But they were only open for like a couple hours where you had to join their Discord and you got a free key. They're supposed to be giving out more keys today and tomorrow. So this is another player. I don't know who this is, but... Oh, this is my buddy. This is Ty. This guy's in my guild. We're gonna get high together. See, the guilds that get high together, they stay together. Or, in a psycho-induced panic, one of them kills one of each. Yeah, he might actually murder me in my sleep while I'm tripping. So, you either become really good friends or one of you dies. Oh wow, yeah, I didn't realize that. That's cool. The bats. So you're saying in the lore the bats were messengers that the Fremen used. That's really cool. Perfect. All right. So this mission is actually really easy. If you listen to the person talking, she tells you a lot of lore. Personally, I don't hear a word she says. I don't know if it's the accent or if it's her tone, but I don't appreciate her tone, and I can't hear anything she says.
The burning eyes of Allah and the words of the Kitab al-Ibar. Rest in black.
What she's talking about is actually really cool. She's talking about how the Fremen came to be and how they were enslaved and brought here from other planets and stuff. And so, you know, it's a story about the struggles of the Fremen. and me, a typical American, I'm just like, whatever, lady. I just want to get out of this nightmare. I want to get out of this nightmare. But yeah, you could typically outrun the eyes on the early stages of things, but oh, we did it. Yeah, sometimes you can do it.
When we began our wandering, we suffered until suffering was a thing we came to know within our souls. Arrakis is suffering.
Okay.
When we found it, we were home.
I wish my mustache would peek outside. You can actually turn off the helmet so that they can see your face, but I'm wearing a special outfit for this.
On Harmontep, we were made to suffer. Our children taken and made slaves.
That's where she's talking about how their children were taken as slaves.
Never to forgive, never to forget.
But yeah, all you're doing at this point is just dodging the eyes. It's pretty straightforward and easy. I've done this like 7 times now. This is the part I always screw up on. I always jump too short. I'm guaranteed to not. If I get this right, it will be the first time I've never not died here. I did it! I'm a real boy! Oh yeah! I always biff it there.
God give us the burning sun to defy. Suffering leads to defiance. And where does defiance lead?
Alright, we just gotta jump over this thing. Hide here, and then once it closes once more, we can dash. There we go.
Defiance leads to thought. Who is it that
Yeah,
thinks?
it's true. I guess when people are watching, you don't choke as much, maybe.
All
right.
Who is it that thinks?
Who is it that thinks? I don't know. Steven? I don't know. Just let me out of here. Yeah, so it's a really cool cutscene. If you're into that lore and stuff, you'll love it. Me personally, I just want to get back to shooting people, so. Yeah, he's tripping real hard right now. This is the part that scares me, is that when you go into these hallucinations, you disconnect. So I'm connecting. Oh, God. I was a little worried. I was a little worried. I'm still a little worried, because... Come on, baby. Load into the game. Don't do this to me. Alright, well... I've never had this happen before. I don't know if this is an addition to the crazy drug trip, but yeah. Oh, that's not good. Well, while these balls circle each other, do any of you guys have any questions? Yay! Yay! I could have gone another 10 rounds of rotating balls before I would have gotten worried, so I think we're in good shape. Yeah, I'm sure. It's good to see, though, that I do think people are going to have a really... There were around 10, 12 worlds just for this. I think people are going to be able to easily get in with their guilds and have all your friends in a Haga Basin. We got 12 people in, so... Yeah, it really is an incredible mustache. And you bring up a very valuable point. Let me show you guys how to make sure that the world never forgets. So the eyes of Abad, those are the blue eyes you get after a certain point in time. But yeah, you can turn your helmet off. You still get the benefit from it. It's really low quality for some reason there. There we go. Yeah, I don't look fucking crazy at all. So now we need to locate a moisture-sealed cave, and we need to penetrate it for its fabric. So there's a few around here. There's actually a lot of them around here. The micro sandwich fibers and EMF generators that you get out of these caves are a lot harder to get in the second area. So what I suggest to people is to get as much of those as possible. And we'll be doing that in this video. This is going to be long. I might have to bust this out into 2 streams, to be honest. Because I'm going to show you a lot. Okay. So, yeah, we did it. So what we're looking for are the vents of Ifrit. So we can start heading back to our base. And we'll hit that cave up on the way. I'm going to hit up this copper node. And we're going to get the ore... I should have actually got the ore refinery going already, but I wanted to skip it. But, yeah, we're going to get the ore refinery up next. And then we're going to go to the trade post. And then we're going to go to the dungeon to get our first vehicle. And the game is really going to start taking off from us from that point. But we want to get as much copper as possible. Perfect. You're going to need around 70-ish ingots. So, get some fuel cells. So you can see why I think the BENE Gesserit is a perfect class for people who are starting. So the Sardaukar ships are out. Something to note about the Sardaukar, they're actually really, really weak, but when they shoot you, it hurts a lot. They do a lot of damage, but you can usually kill them in 1 to 2 shots. So what I would suggest if you get picked up by a Sardaukar ship is to not run, but just kill all of them. It's incredibly easy, and it's a bit counterintuitive, because when 6 dudes are jumping you, you don't think you're Jean-Claude Van Damme, but you actually kind of are. You are the Jean-Claude Van Damme of Dune, so... Especially with a mustache like... Well, I don't think he had a mustache, but... If he did, he would have this mustache. I'm fairly confident. Fairly confident. Okay, let's get out of here. Mentat is my favorite class. I'm showing people the BENE Gess, though, because I want to show people how nice it is when you're starting off in the game. The BENE Gess is also a really, really powerful class, outside of, like, all of those other factors. So we're going to go up into this... yeah, we're gonna go over to the cave over there to get the fabrics. We actually don't even have to do this. This is going to show us how to make our first still suit, but we don't have to do it. We could actually skip a lot of this stuff now. The one thing you don't want to skip is your first psychedelic trip. That's going to send us east to do the second psychedelic trip, then west to do the third, and then center to do the fourth. And hopefully I have enough time to show you guys that, because it's a pain in the ass to figure all that out. So let's go down our crafting. So yeah, we got the scavenger suit there, fabricator. So we're going to start unlocking the fabricator and our refiner. Eventually it's going to ask us to shoot some balls in the air, and that's a good one. But yeah, we got a lot. So let's get to work. So we're going to place down our ore. We're going a little bit out of order. So we're going to place down our fabricator. And we're going to place down our ore refinery. And I'm just kind of shoving all this stuff into this little block. Again, we're going to be abandoning this. And now we can start processing all the copper ingots. So you can see it's going to take a while to process these, which is why I like to do it. With the fabricator now, I can make an entire still suit, which is why it's telling us to get these fabrics. But we don't really need them. If we want to follow the mission, though, it is wise because you do get a lot of experience. You want to hit at least level 15 to 20 before you go up north, as you're going to get a lot more experience from these areas. But, you know, to each their own. I think that's a cave in front of me. It is. I'm going to have to kill this gent. So I just gunned him down real quick. You can see we're getting 20 XP a pop. So the enemies up north, they're going to be harder. And you're going to get actually a little bit less experience because of our level. And yeah, we got some armpit blood. Yep, butt blood. We're getting all the bloods. And it looks like I either came through here or somebody else did. Interesting. Let's suck off some flowers. I unfortunately don't have any beta keys to give away right now. I already gave them all away. But if I get more, I will let people know. Alright, so there's a little bit of blood here. We got the fabric we needed. Not blood, there's fire. Alright. Nice, we got some water right here. This is one way to get above your due limit early in the game. But, yeah, this is a really crappy dungeon. There we go. Yeah, we got a bunch. There we go. We need a little bit more. We can get that last piece of fabric if we find the exit. Oof. Oh, there's some stuff over there. So this is where having a Shigawara claw would be advantageous, but I might be able to get over there a different way. Let's see. This is a weird one. All right. I don't know how I feel about what I'm about to do. Okay. Okay. Let's do this with tactics. All right. I think I'll be able to avoid most of the flames if I go like this, and I was correct. You hit left control to detail. Oh my god. That's just plant fiber crap. Well, I got to get something out of it. Dude, we didn't get crap. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is a super chest. I didn't even know this actually existed here. Oh, look at that. A leader John. Oh, that is awesome. This is actually huge at this stage of the game. So we got a leader John that we could put water in. The quest line is going to have me go and craft one of these. So we just skipped a whole bunch. I got to remember this spot, man. Yeah, I got to remember this spot because getting a leader John means I don't have to do that whole quest line and I can just go straight to the Dew Reaper. And that's going to allow us to just collect water from plants during midnight to dawn. Dawn is the best time to collect water with your Dew Reaper. It's optimal and you can get a lot. Alright, so now it wants me to get a bunch of scavenged scrap metals, and it wants me to get some fabric. I already have all this stuff at base, that's why I've been gathering it. I am of the impression that you can never have enough, though. And mine copper, I need 12. We're just going to do the missions, even though, like I said, we can easily skip them. All you have to do is just go get your bike and go north to skip stuff, but we're going to do a full playthrough of everything for today. I'm sure some people will appreciate this if they're, you know, because the game's not coming out till June 5th. And I don't know how many people are showing people how to do this all very nice and neat. So, yeah, we're going to have to redo our entryway here. All right, so like I said, we don't need to have any of this stuff in our inventory to craft it. It's pulling from everything. So we're going to craft our first still suit. And if you want to get this stuff, you just flap it in. But you can skip most of this stuff too. Mine copper ore. Well, I think we got that under wraps too. I mean, we can go mine some copper ore while we're waiting. Now, typically, like I said, I'd build my base near copper ore, but we got a lot of it everywhere. And that will give us some scrap, but it's not like a crazy amount of scrap. Oof. Yeah, some of this stuff is a little hard. Alright, that was luck. We'll run back. Oh, I procced it wrong. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now it wants me to drink some water from the blood, so we just walk up to this and we hold E and we drink. There we go. Now I can also hit E and deposit and extract it, so I can extract it into my Leader John, and then I can drink from that while we're outside. So that's why the Leader John is amazing, because now I have the ability to bring more water with me, get above my dew point. And why is that important? Stamina. You get stamina bonuses for every tier that you're above. So you see there's 1 and then 2. So as long as I can stay above that second dew point, I get an increase in my stamina regeneration, which means I can run faster, I can do lots of stuff. All right, cool. We're above 80, so we're gonna have everything we need. So we're fabricating the suit. We're gonna grab it. We're gonna wear it just for the sake of the video. Now you can see that the armor values on this really suck.
If you didn't connect the tubes between the calves and the thigh pads just right, you'll be drinking your own liquefied feces. And that does not count as hydration, by the way. I have good news, off-worlder. My leg has recovered enough that I will risk it to move.
So now we have a catch pocket. You can see that little bar on the left-hand side. It's gonna fill up very slowly, but we can drink from our suit. This is really valuable. I will say, though, it's at this stage of the game, I don't really care too much. You don't really need to like take it that the suit sucks. You're basically wearing pajamas. You're wearing really ugly pajamas, and much like a methed out addict, you're running around terrorizing the neighborhood. Like it's pretty silly. But the face mask looks really cool. So let me actually show you the face mask. So I'll turn back the helmet. And I'll show you what it looks like. But yeah, it's dope. You look cool, you feel cool. That's what's important. But I feel that my mustache is more important. There we go. Perfect. So we're gonna go back to the mustache. It's the signature look of the Wasteland Survival. All right. So now it wants me to shoot some balls into the air. This is the probably most fun part in the game. Again, the fabricator is pulling from every storage container that I have in the base. Like, I want to emphasize that because a lot of games require you to have resources in specific locations. It's one of the things about Dune that is really nice.
Good. Static discharge from the sandstorms.
Yeah, there's going to be a ton of keys tomorrow. I'm supposed to get some more keys that I can give away tomorrow, is what is people are saying on the down low. But I never count on any of that stuff. But all right, so the first balls that you have to shoot into the air, you don't have to be too high. In the second regions, you have to be pretty darn high. So you just want to find a place like this where you can just run in. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Okay. It's always really scary being around here. Okay. And if you double click spacebar, you'll pop yourself up and climb a lot faster. So it's getting hot in here. Nope, can't shoot my balls. And when you shoot your balls, don't run away. If you run away and you get out of range, you'll have to go get another one and shoot it. It's really... Alright. We need 15 more meters. That's pretty easy to get. 8 more meters. And yeah, you can actually jump in the air to get those additional meters if you find yourself... Ah, crap. I ran out of stamina. Alright, let's give it a break. 9 meters. Okay. Yeah, we're there. We're going to have to climb normally. We're going to do it on the side that is not sunny. Alright. So we got up to the top. Hopefully this is high enough. There we go. So just stay in the area. Let it do its thing. I'm watching my sun gauge right now, but I think we're good. So what it's going to do is give me the whole freaking map. I think it broke.
Very good.
Okay.
I'm going to the
I got a little scared.
Come and find me.
All right. So now we can see the whole basin. So this is where we get our vehicle, the Imperial Testing Station number 2. We're going to go to the trade post first, though, and get the quest line for everything, and then we're going to run it all together. I'm going to pick up, before we go, though, because it's bothering me that my base doesn't have a proper ramp. I'm going to get a little bit of this stuff. Okay. And then that's my base right there. Perfect. So now we're going to go to Griffith's Trade Post. So we're doing everything in order, and that's a beautiful way to do things. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do... Oh, nose. Oh, nose. I didn't realize... I'm at the edge here. Okay. Okay. We'll do it on the back side. So you can move your sub-thief console. I'm going to move it over here to the rocks. We're going to build out our base just a tad bit, because I want to show people that ramps are cool. So I'm going to place a new entry point here. How much do I have? Ooh, I only have enough for a couple more pieces. Okay. We might have to get a little bit more. That's okay. I don't really care what these things look like. Alright. And yeah, you can't necessarily move things too crazy easy. But it doesn't hurt to have 2 entry points, to be honest. Not enough materials. Okay. Yeah, we need to get a little bit more scrap. Alright. Or a little bit more granite. This is what happens is you start building out you start spending all that time building your base out, and you have to abandon it anyway. But I want to show people how to make a proper entryway, because and I'll explain it with bikes. Bikes are a little finicky. You want to make sure that you're angling them straight when they're coming in. So, but yeah, I love the BENE GESSERIT for this early game. Now you don't need a base down here at all, unless you want to like quickly harvest micro sandwich fibers, which could be advantageous. But the dungeons are fewer for micro sandwich in the upper area, but they're also bigger, and they have they're more plentiful if you find the right places. Okay, and then we're gonna use a ramp. So there's actually a few ramps. There's a cool one. So when you pull into your gate, you want to make sure you're going straight. You don't want to put a ramp into the door. It gets really, really weird. So make sure you have a flat surface area. And there's a cool corner piece here that we can use. I think it's right here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we can pull in from anywhere. But this is what I suggest. Make sure you have a flat entry point. Don't do a ramp going into a door. It gets crazy. All right. So now they want scrap and they want copper ore at the trade post. So we can just start picking that up on the way, or we can take what we had in our inventory. But if you also, if you just start ghostbustering this stuff, sometimes you'll get scrap. But yeah, it's advised to do it the right way. We did get armor plating. That's used for heavy armors in the next zone. But let's keep going. You can see I got a little bit of water in my catch system, so I'm going to drink it. I'm basically drinking my own pee. It's a glorious experience for all to behold. All right. We're going to go to Griffith's Reach, all the way up there. What's cool about the navigation bar, too, is you can see that it shows you the distance you are from other places. So if we want to get some of these fabrics... Jeez Louise, can't shoot. I got caught off guard. All right. I just wanted to get some fabric. Yeah, don't get caught off guard. Yeah, don't mix everything up. You'll be drinking the poop. And I need to use my abilities a little bit wiser, but... There we go. Oh my god, man. Alright, well, we need to make... Yeah, you're really squishy in the beginning of the game. We need to make some kits. I need to get some grass. We got some fuel cells here. I guess I should get their blood. You always want to make sure that you're getting something. The cool thing about blood is you can drink the raw blood. So if you get in a situation where you're about to die, just drink the raw blood, the butt blood. Got to get as much butt blood as possible. All right. And let's keep making our way downtown. I think I'm just going to skip everything here. Let's get on with this mission, right? I need to find some plant fiber so I can heal up. The BENE Gess has... Okay, let's actually see. We got skill points, so let's go into this. So the BENE Gess has trauma recovery. Healing regeneration, 10% is a technique. So now we're going to naturally heal as we traverse. This is why I like the BENE Gess as a starting class. It's a lot more forgiving. We need 40 copper iron ore for the mission that we're going to turn in up at the trade post up here. So we got 40, and we'll just need a little bit of scrap. And we can just pick up scrap on the line. You also see that I'm getting experience for picking up scrap. So picking up stuff, stopping is one thing, but just running by and picking stuff up to get a little bit of experience on the way is advisable.
There's someone here.
All right, we're gonna need to make some bullets. Go. Ooh. All right, let's get a little bit of that butt blood. Yeah, right in the butt. I'm gonna probably need to get a little bit more scrap so I can make some bullets, but let's keep making our way. Let's get a little bit of scrap right here. Craft a little bit more rounds. We're running out of bullets. The gun is definitely your friend. We have enough scrap for the mission. Here's a little bit of money. All right, let's do this. So we're gonna run from the trade post. We're gonna get a mission that we need to for the Imperial Testing Station 2. Okay. Yeah, we're in good shape. So this is going to be the hard part. I wouldn't... Oh, you're asking, is there a point to having flowers inside of your base and all that? What you want is to have an area where you have between 3 to 4 water fields around you that you can just kind of run around and gather water from. That's very valuable. Having it in the base is only advantageous if you're incredibly paranoid about someone stalking you and just like harvesting all of your water at night, which is not going to happen. Encountering a person, well, I shouldn't say that. Unless someone really doesn't like you, it's not going to happen. Encountering players in this game is pretty darn rare. We're just running by everybody. I wouldn't be too fixated on trying to have that stuff in your base, but at the same time, it is cool, like, right? I mean, it's cool to have that. We had a water thing in our base. It's not going to hurt you, but it's not something I would use as the determination of whether or not I build a base. I would look for a spot that has a lot of fields around it. What I don't know is how much water is available in the other sectors outside of the 3 zones that we have access to. Ah, shit. I can't use my ability out here. I had to use it before. Alright, we got a friend coming up. Or I guess I should call it a blood donation. The pistol, let me explain something about weapons in this game. The pistol has what is called an effective range. So this has a 39-meter effective range. So after a certain range, you can't land shots. The pistol's pretty powerful at close range. So it's very useful, but I prefer the assault rifle personally, or the SMG. They're a little bit more accurate, at least for me. We're not quite at the point where we can suck plants off yet, so, but here we go. All right, that's the trade post. You can't really miss it. It's a big old building with flashy lights. Yeah, nobody services plants like me. It's impossible to hate me. I don't know, man. Here's the problem with video games and everything in life. Everything in life is what you make it. And what I mean by that is that entertainment comes from the eye of the beholder. So for some people, stalking other players and stealing their plants by sucking them off, that's their jam. That's what they do. All right, so we're in the first trade hub. So a couple of important events are going to happen right now. We're going to walk up to this gent right here. This is the Trooper trainer. He is going to give us a mission to go assassinate 3 individuals over on the east side of the map. And once we do that, we come back and we get the Trooper unlocked. It's actually very easy to do. I don't pay too much attention to the dialogue in this game. I just click things until they stop talking to me. I want to learn from you. Next. Yeah. He wants me to go kill people because he's a bitch. Okay, cool. I'll kill them for you. Then we go up to the contract board. We're going to just accept the scrap contract, and we're going to deliver it at the same time. So I need, he wants 40 copper. So, that was weird. So I need to buy the Leader John schematic. So that was what's cool about getting that Leader John.
Stop. So perhaps you'll give.
So this is the guy who trades. Sorry, I'm running through this stuff. I've done this like a bajillion times. So this is a schematic. It's not an actual Leader John. So now I have a schematic that I can learn, but I have to be at my base in order to learn it. So it's in my inventory. Oh no, I can learn it here too. You have to be in a friendly area. So I can now craft this once. Most schematics you can only craft a handful of times, but this is a special Leader John. I need spice infused copper dust, which I'm gonna get from the dungeon that we're about to go to. But what I want to do is make sure that I get all of these contracts fulfilled.
Off-worlder, that Arrakis is a planet of unique opportunity. No former prisoner will ever have access to the.
So now it wants me to travel to the shipwreck and get something. We don't even. I'm not even gonna do that part. But yeah, we got a bit of money off all that. 1,500. Got some blood sacks. Cool.
The Fremen know the ways of the desert and how
I feel like I'm missing another quest line. So I have to do, unfortunately, if I want to get the quest line for the bike area, I'm gonna skip it. Some of the stuff you can actually skip.
There is a shipwreck near here. Slip inside and claim your share of the spoils.
And I actually don't know where the damn thing that he wants me to do is in there, but we're gonna go for our bike now. So what are we? An hour in? I would usually have my bike and be a lot quicker than this, but yeah, when you're explaining things, it's a little different. And you can actually die in this game and not really give a shit, so that's kind of interesting too. We're gonna want to pick up some plants along the way, but yeah, we're gonna go get our bike. I'm not aware. I mean, the players you can kind of tell at a later stage, but sometimes you will confuse the NPCs for players. It's happened to me a few times where I couldn't tell if the NPC was not a person. So it's pretty crazy. The AI gets a lot more complicated at the higher tiers. So, but you can't really see names very easily in this game. So even if you come up with a really, really funny name, you're not guaranteed anyone will ever know that you have that cool name. unless they inspect you. The only thing they're gonna see is my fucking creepy ass face. That's the last thing anybody's gonna see in this desert is this. That's it. That's the only way to know, really, if someone is a player, is if they're not wearing a hat. Alright, we got worms. So someone's pissing off the worms, you can hear that. I know all my friends for the first time are playing and they're freaking out in the worms, but I'm kind of one with the desert now. They don't scare me whatsoever. I know how to avoid them and I know everything about them. But yeah, your first encounter with the worm is a very magical experience. It's a very scary thing. Alright, so we're going to go into this dungeon now, and we're going to get our bike parts. I'm going to show you where all of the hidden treasure chests are. I know this dungeon by heart pretty much at this point. Yeah, most NPCs have hoods. Most players, like myself, like to take the helms off. Though I will say some of the helms in this game are awesome. Alright, so we do have a mission here. No, that's another place. Or is this? Yeah, kill it, Glivin. We should have a mission here. But I would recommend you do the contract boards. You get an enormous amount of experience. Oh, I ran right past it. We have to get the band. So you have to grab these bands to get through certain points of interest. We grab that band and that allows us to get through this shielded area. These things right here. So think like Fallout 76, right? Every vault or dungeon is an experimental lab. And if you play these things, they'll tell you about the experiments that were done there. I don't partake in that. That's a secret loot chest. You want to grab that on your way out. That thing is full of a lot of good stuff. There's nothing. Look for like glowing yellow lights on some of these bookshelves. They're secret passageways, secret rooms. But yeah, usually the loot on the guys that are down sucks. But what you get from coming here, you can actually come here and skip everything that I just showed you if you just want to get your bike right off the bat. There's a lot of water down here. Yeah, the desert mustache is the real MVP.
Welcome to Desert
Right. And you can see that there are plants in here, and
I am the station supervisor, Dr. Rommel Greer.
I'm looking for water.
The of these stations is to find or engineer botanical species.
You got to be like, sometimes they try to be sneaky. Like, here you go. So these advanced cervix and particle capacitors are what we need to craft our first bike. Right now we don't have a Dew Reaper. Once we get a bike, we're gonna go buy. See, that guy did. This chick didn't have a hood. I almost thought that was a player for a second. I'm not gonna lie. Someone's shooting me from behind. Where are they shooting me from? So this is why the Mentat. This is why the Mentat's really good in this area, though, because it has the sentry. Oh, wrong button. Good God. Alright, I did a really bad job. The melee combat can be a little, as you saw, like it was pulling to the sides there. It locks on. When you're in melee combat, it can lock onto a person, so that was a little out of control. Technically speaking, because this is a first-person shooter, I would imagine that the more midgety you are, like, the better, to be honest. Like, if they can't hit you, the smaller you are, the better. Oh, shit. Alright. Yeah. But yeah, the more midgety, the better, I would say. We want to make sure we don't miss any of the loot. There's a lot of hidden loot. This feels different. Okay. A lot of this, though, is just like ammo and healing packs. But what we're looking for is over here, are these cervix. So yeah, we got 4. That was actually pretty bad. Sometimes you'll find more stuff down here in these corners. So you got to be careful not to miss it, because every one of these particle capacitors and cervix I'm going to need for building my vehicle. Also for building the first suspensor belt, which is really awesome because it allows you to float around. Okay, so if you're asking like what are the best classes in the game, quite honestly, the Mentat and the Swordmaster each have their own home. I would say the worst starting class, honestly, is the Trooper. It just it doesn't have a whole lot to offer, but you can use any class well in this game. So. A lot of them. All right, I think there's only one more. The Mentat's the best though. The Mentat just goes through everything. The BENE Gess is really powerful though for taking down big enemies. Now here's the main chest room. So this is a quest item. I would suggest you have a chest in your base where you just offload quest items so you don't have to come back here unless you want to. This is a crap. We got a really bad thing. Now, here's the chest. Now, what do we get? Oh, we got a tread. I always love it when you get the engines. The treads are the easiest thing to build, so that didn't save us much material. But yeah, we got a tread. Okay, get a little bit of ammo. Take a look around, make sure we didn't miss anything. So that was one of the chests. But, yeah, so there's nothing else in here. That was it. The small room. Now we're gonna go down. But yeah, the pistol, you just kind of, you know, point and click. But it's all, you know, third-person shooter. Gotta be a little careful. I need to rearrange my buttons because they're not in the format that I typically use. Alright, and then we're just gonna run around and get all the loot. Don't miss any loot. Okay, that's one way. Yeah, there's a loot chest back here. Nice. We're getting pretty shit drops, not gonna lie. Alright, that was pretty much everything down here. How often can you repeat the dungeons? I think it's like every... So you can actually just wait. You can wait in the boss room and just wait for shit to regenerate. And it regenerates like about every half hour. So, alright. There's a band that we need to go to the next section that's down these stairs, hidden in this area over here. So we'll need to come down here. There we go. Got a little bit of money. That sound... It's not a sound you want to hear when you're walking somewhere. She scared me. Alright, here's the band. Yeah, she scared me big time. Oh, good God. Yeah, but you can kill most of these guys just by, you know, shooting them over and over again. Pretty powerful. Alright, so here's one of the secret doors. So you see this yellow light? That's your giveaway for secret chambers. And there's a whole lot of good stuff in here. There's also another quest item, I believe. So that's one that you can actually pretty easily miss because you're just not even aware of that stuff. But here's a quest item. Imperial testing station records. That'll be used for a future thing. We got another tread. Now you'll notice the items that you find, their max durability really sucks. So this is like the worst. I would have loved to have gotten a higher tier engine. I'm getting really bad drops. You can get all types of different stuff. So we got a little bit of water. Got ourselves a special drop. Not bad. Well, the thing is though, is that you can get all the water you need down here. You could stay here forever. I stayed in one dungeon for 7 hours, and everyone gets their own loot in PvE dungeons. So my friends and I all got so many sets of armor and schematics. So here is a passive suspensor belt. which will auto-equip. A little bit of ammo. So that only helps me when I'm going down. It doesn't help me when I'm going up. We're going to hopefully get the schematic that drops in this dungeon, which gives me a better suspensor belt, but requires some advanced material. So this is the boss. So the funny thing about the boss is she's actually really, really easy as long as you just kick the crap out of her very quickly. So we're going to come in. We're going to use our ability. And she hasn't had a chance to turn her shield on. There we go. That was the boss. Pretty easy. Here's another quest item. So, that was fun. Okay. That was it. That was the boss. The first time I fought her, I got my ass kicked, but once you realize that you can just stab her over and over again, she's pretty easy. So our water is full already from this. Yeah, we're doing great. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to get our loot. This is the big boy chest, so you can literally just stand in this room and wait for your stuff to respawn. Here's the identification band that we need to get to the next area. I wouldn't recommend doing that because the loot here... What the hell was that? The loot here isn't fantastic. So this is the Emperor's Wing Mark 1. This allows you to float up and down. This is a special unique. So all the unique items in this game have awesome properties. Oh, nice. Another tread. We got some space dust. This is used to craft the advanced things there. Pass the suspensor belt. And some money. That was actually one of the worst raids I've ever had. I got all I'm not even going to use any of it. I'm going to go. And so that you can tell the way out because it highlights in purple like that. So this is the way out. And we're just going to hit up the secret chest on the way out. And that's the first dungeon. It's pretty straightforward.
Welcome to
But yeah, that was great.
Testing station number 2.
But yeah, you can run these over and over and over again. So all right. So here's the secret loot room that's now open. So we got a power pack. So this power pack is better than mine. Mine's regen at 8 and 100. This is 12 and 150. We'll want to switch that out. And then, yeah, a little bit of worthless scrap. A little bit of money. Like I said, look for any kind of secret stuff you can find, but just a little bit. All these parts are going to matter because we're going to want to build our first bike. Pull from over here. Beautiful. All right, so that's it. So now we have everything to make our first bike. We're going to head back. I got... starting as far away from the first cave added so much time to a lot of this stuff. And, yeah, we'll use our supercharge ability here in a second, but... Your main goal is to get your bike as soon as possible. It's going to save you hours in the beginning stages of the game. Okay, so we got everything we need to make our bike. We're going to head back over now. You need to build a repair station if you want to repair damaged gear. You get that in the iron stage. And yeah, so it kind of sucks because you'll be throwing away a lot of really good stuff. Oh, I ran out of stamina. Silly me. So the still suit we're using also has heat resistance, so you take less sun damage. The BENE GESSERIT has a skill which reduces a lot of that stuff. So let's actually go to our skill points. We're going to need to get advanced BENE GESSERITs to get to that. So self-healing, we're going to get that up. Stabilize poison. Vitality, max health plus 25. I'm going to get that. Blade damage. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we're going to make ourselves a little stronger. You can see someone's pissing the worm off already. So there we go. We're in good shape though. Yeah, the free bikes though are pieces of shit. That's the problem. If you craft your bike, you're gonna have I mean, yeah. There's a place. I think there's a place. It's one of these 3 stations down here. So, yeah, you're bringing up a good point. Shouldn't you just go grab one of the crap bikes? You could. I mean, I think it's right here. It's either here or here. There's a scrap bike. But I don't like the scrap bikes, and you need to run that mission anyway to get everything. I mean, you could argue that you could just go pick up the scrap bike and, you know, be done with it. Not terrible. But yeah, if you go that direction, yeah, it's one of the ones down there. The scrap stuff breaks. Like, you have... I mean, to be fair, you could go get the scrap bike and then drive it to the station and probably save yourself, you know, a lot of hassle. Wrong way. It's not a terrible idea, but for me personally, I find just going and doing... I'm gonna do that dungeon anyway, so... The only time that you're saving is the time it takes you to run across the area and run back. Which is not a terrible idea. Now we're getting sun-scorched now. I got sidetracked talking, sorry. That's the problem with trying to talk and play the game at the same time. You start making a lot of mistakes. Alright, we gotta get out of the sun. I wouldn't say it's not worth it. It definitely would have saved a little bit of time. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's this guy here. Has it? I can't remember. It's one of the housing areas has like 2 or 3 scrap bikes that proc. I've never been able to successfully run across the desert without the bike to the northern area. But once you get the bike, you get to skip everything else. So, but we're gonna get the Trooper unlocked because I said I would do that. Okay, so we made it home. So now what we want to do is research the bike, and the most important thing is not to just get the bike, but to get the vehicle backup tool. Because if a sandstorm comes, your entire bike will get shredded. You can put your bike into the vehicle tool. This is the most important thing in the game. Like, legit. Legit one of the most important things in the game. Okay, so let's get all of the base technology unlocked. Get the rifle. We'll get this thing. How many points do I have? 5. Small chemical refinery. May have just screwed myself, but it's okay. Yeah, and then I'll get the vehicle backup tool. Perfect. So I have everything that I need to be successful. Let's fabricator time. So we're gonna craft the bike first. So we need a PSU for power. We need 3 treads. 1, 2, 3. Very cheap. I'm not gonna use those crap ones. We need a sand bike engine. We need the chassis, and we need the hull. So we had enough. We still have enough copper ingots left over. Let me check out my refinery. Yeah, we need a few ingots. So now what we want to do is we also research, as you saw, the small chem station. This will be used. Now you can get lucky sometimes and things will drop. We need 45 copper ingots. Okay, so this is why I was telling you to get as much copper as possible. So we need to get a little bit more copper. Not too much. We're right there. And yeah, everything is around me. I really hate this node too. That's the thing. I hate this node. There we go. We got it. You want a bit of copper for other things too. Okay. Yeah, so you saw my belt kind of just saved me right there. Perfect. All right. So now we can build out our chem station once I get the copper ingots in. Just need 5 more ingots. So now you can see why I had you craft all those freaking ingots. We're also going to need... Let's see. See what I got. Yeah, we're going to need the vehicle backup tool. I don't remember if I made one. I'll make 2. And we need a welding torch. Now we can make a back seat. This allows you to pull, take someone with you. That's fun. What you want to do at this stage, though, if you have the points, is get the sandbike inventory. What I should probably do is hit up one of the houses and get the tech points. We'll do that momentarily. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So now we're going to craft our first bike. We need to get the welding tool out. Yeah, we got a lot to do. Where are you, my friend? Yeah, I was like, I don't see it. There we go. Alright, we don't need the survey probe for this part anymore. Oh, we're doing beautiful. Number 5. Alright, cool. So you can just slap everything down. You don't even need to really think at this stage. Just line it up. But what's cool about having a bike like this is that you don't have to worry about everything. Where's my chassis? Here we go. Oh, crap. I think it put on some of my crap parts. Yeah. It put on some of my crap parts. Yeah, this guy. So we're going to detach. Yeah, I did that on purpose to show you how to detach. So, right-click lets you cycle. So, assemble, right-click, repair, customize. I can change the colors, swatch. You know, I can make it a pretty color. You can also just do that straight up in customization. We're going to detach this because this is not the one I wanted. So that's what's cool is you can modify your vehicles. Yeah, so this is the bad one too. Not bad. Perfect, right? All right, so we're going to assemble. Someone's outside my base. I don't know who that is. Who are you? It could be one of my friends. I have 10 people. I got a quarter of the server is my friends. That's Tyrell. Stop moving, buddy. It's me. It's me. It's me. No, it's me. Oh yeah. Hey, it's me, Tyrell. It's TactiCat. Don't you notice my mustache? It's me. Oh, you're already in a party. Oh, man. I can invite him. Yeah, I don't know how to... You have to hit, ah, crap. Just run away. You have to hit V to talk in game. He ran away. You have to hit, hold down V if you want to talk in game, Tyrell.
Okay, cool. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just made my vehicle. You wanna go for...
What? Oh my god, you're killing it, bro.
Yeah, well that's what the guide I'm doing right now is vehicle making. I might be able to hook you up. Let me see. Oh, do you not know how to make vehicles?
Yeah, he's got a vehicle. No, I don't. I'm over here trying to figure out how to learn skills. And...
Yeah.
Let me see what you got going on. I thought this was like a little bit more advanced in our base.
He's stepping on my base.
Right, bro.
Yeah. So right now what I have to do is I'm making a vehicle refinery. Or you want to move? You actually stand. Yeah. Jeez Louise. I can't do anything.
How do I get out?
Oh, I have to open it. Yeah, I have to open it for you. Oh, you got it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll get back to it.
To the west of you, if you're wondering.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So now I can make small vehicle cells. All right. Perfect. All right. So once I get the vehicle cell, I got my bike. So right now we don't have any fuel. And it looks like I still accidentally put on the same damn thing. Alright. So, yeah, this guy needs to go. I keep making mistakes. Alright. I'm getting sidetracked. Alright. So, using the mouse wheel, cycle over till we get the right one. That's the one negative of having everything in the base. I can actually fuel this vehicle without having anything. As long as... or maybe not. I recommend you always carry a fuel cell on you. If you get the inventory thing, you're in good shape. Okay. So, we've done it all. So now you're probably wondering, well, what about the Trooper class that we talked about? So now that we have a vehicle, we're going to go on a killing spree. It's killing spree time, folks. Oh, I should actually unload my inventory. And so at this stage of the game, what I would suggest you do is start doing all the quest lines, but also start leveling. We want to, we want to get our levels. So I could actually make some stuff here. We want to make sure we have our vehicle backup tool. For the Emperor's Wings, we would likely want to craft that, so we're going to need a little bit more. Okay. So let's unload everything. I don't know if I could actually craft him another vehicle or not. I would have loved to. I'll help him out here in a bit. All right, yeah. I'm going to keep the quest items because they don't weigh crap. All right, we're at 37. Yeah, we're at a... I'm actually going to drop that on the ground. We don't even need it. Give it the granite. We got a bunch of cash. We're going to keep that all on us. We got a bunch of blood that we can put in here. We can fill up our leader John. So let's throw all this blood in here. Let's extract water. Fill up our leader John. All right, it's killing time. So we're on a rampage. We're going to go up here and kill 3 individuals, and that's going to unlock the Trooper class. Now, these guys are tough. They're tough, but we're going to get them. But yeah, here we are. We're vehicle in. Alright. So let's do this. Yeah, the mustache really makes this. Yeah, I'm not... I'm not going to go too much into my guild's plans about rushing strategies and what we're doing for base building, but I got all that stuff already figured out. This is just showing people the game, how to get stuff unlocked. But yeah, rushing north and getting a good base location is a very wise choice. Oh fuck, that is a sandstorm. It might miss us. There's a giant sandstorm coming this way. That's why you... oh, good God. Yeah, that's why you want to have your vehicle backup tool. Hotbard. The sandstorm hits us, we just get off our bike real quick and we'll survive. You can drink from your suit, though, while you're on the bike. That's pretty cool. But yeah, getting around is a lot easier when you have a vehicle. Right. I have multiple missions. Okay, we're going straight at the mission objective right now. I wish I had my booster, and I wish I had a better engine. You can see we're only going about like 62-ish. I'm used to going around 100 on my bike. This feels a little slow. I'm not too worried about worms either. Just keep moving point to point. You'll be fine. When the worms do pop up, it's just to give you a warning. Went the wrong way. Yeah, he's over here. I think that's binary over there. Oh yeah, that's my buddy. People are yelling at me in game. I'm the cool dude with the bike. I should have got the back seat. Okay. Yeah, that's binary. Yeah, so this is the location we have to go to. I need a back seat. I don't know who's shooting at me. Here, don't move. Don't move, Binary. If you don't move, you don't fall off. You hold V to talk.
Take me to the trading post.
You want me to take you to the trading post? Oh man, you're so far away. I gotta kill 3 people first. Do you want to help me with that, and then I can take you to the trade post?
I just did that.
Well, you want to kill them again?
Yeah, I just did that. Sure.
But yeah, you can. They're definitely gonna get that out of the game. I don't think that's gonna be a full feature in the game, where you can pick people up because of the implications of how that can be used to do some bad things to people. All right, so this guy in here is tough. Good.
There's mines. A lot of these guys.
Okay. He has a lot more HP.
If I kill him, it doesn't take the quest from you, does it?
I don't believe so, but let's team up. So I'm gonna team.
Yeah,
This
I
actually.
have one with a bunch of the boys I can add you to.
Yeah, do that. So this is how you would team up in the game. You gotta go to party invites. Yeah, I don't see... Only 4 people can be in a party. I don't know how many are in your party.
4. You'll have to add me then.
Okay. Says you're already in a party, so you have to leave your party. This is Dune. This is peak Dune right here. Did you leave your party?
Just left it.
All right. Oh, good God. Who is this freak? Oh, it's the chair again. Who are you, chair? Who are you? Why are you following me? All right. Let's go kill the next dude. It's the second time I've seen chair. This is the most I've ever seen random players in my life in this game. I need to use my abilities more. Okay. Now we need to go for the second dude who's over here. They're definitely going to take this out. They're going to take this out of the game for sure. We did some bad things with how this works in the last one. This is how you get get around not having a... Getting a back seat. And then you just use the vehicle backup tool to unstuck them. Yeah. Get them micro sandwich fabrics. Where the heck is this dude? Did I screw up? Oh God, he's across the way. I always do that. Out. Damn, dude. Yeah, you gotta kill these guys fast because they really are tough. The game is a lot faster though when you have multiple people. It is a lot faster. Okay, we have to go down. That's how the vehicle backup tool works, if anyone was wondering. Yeah, the stash should definitely have a passive dew collection. Close to the dude. I think it's down here, actually. This is the entrance right here. Nope. Where the hell is he? All right, well, we did it. We got it. We should definitely loot this place, though. This place looks like it's going to have some good stuff. But yeah, doing the Trooper mission is a really smart thing to do because you get all these fabrics, and the fabrics are amazing. All right, so now we have to go back. Oh, good God. All right, we got a lot done. But yeah, this is actually slower than my last run because, like I said, I got... Oh no, did I not? Okay. Okay. So now we're going to go to the trade. Alright. So now what I can do is I can move him to being a co-owner. And I can put pretty much everybody on this base. So now all my friends can use this base. Damn, dude, everybody's on this server right now. Mass murdering worms are that reasonable, but they're pretty easy in this game. Now that we've killed all 3 of those targets, we now will unlock the Trooper. Now, when you pull into the trade station, you're probably wondering what this is. This is where you park your bikes, so if you're in the trade area, if a sandstorm comes by, it's protected. So park your bikes here. If the sandstorm comes, it will shut off, and when the sandstorm is gone, it will open. But you can't ride your bikes up here. They have little blockers. But here we go. We just unlocked
Back
Trooper
again.
class.
Like the sour it's over there.
There we are.
Oh, they took me to
Yep. Cool.
I'd swear you're a...
Now we say goodbye. And now we have the Trooper. So we come over to the Trooper, and we can now get the Sugarwire Claw, the most useful thing in the game. So I prefer, for moving around, the Sugarwire Claw and Bendu Spirit are awesome. To get our third abilities, we have to go through the main quest line, which you can actually do in this version. So there's a few things we can do. I mostly, techniques I like. As you can see, ability cooldown negative 20%. This is one that I learned. It's very, very good. Now we come back to our BENE GESS, and we can kind of look to see if there's anything else that I want. We can only get to rank 1 currently. So, alright, we're good. Yes, the spice must flow along with my mustache oils. Alright, we may be able to get a few more. Nope, no contracts. In order to fulfill the remaining contracts, I have to come over here and find the thing that it wants, and then I can get the mission for some of the items that I found down here. So that's how you unlock the Trooper. That's how you get your vehicle. So the next step is, what I would end up doing is I go point to point from these houses, and I get all of the intel points, and simultaneously I'll hit all of these micro sandwich fabric areas, and I'll get to level, say, 15 or 20. And then once I do that, I can go up to Anvil and get more. So I went north for a bit and leveled. So essentially, between this video and the last video, all I did was focus on leveling. I got myself a shield, but you know what? I'm going to show you how to do that really, really easy. So we're going to act like I didn't go north and do all this cool stuff. But what I want to show you guys how to do is get the Planetologist. So it's a little elusive. What you need to do is go a little bit north of the Imperial Testing Station number 2. So if you're interested in becoming a Planetologist because you want those increased yields, keep watching. This is exactly how you do it. Again, we're going to the north point of Imperial Testing Station 2 in the starting zone of the game. But yeah, so what we want to do is find the pathway that goes up and around. So this is where you get your first bike, as shown in the last video. But we're going to go get that Planetologist skill. The Planetologist is super, super awesome. Right here. So we're going to go up this route right here. And then once we get Planetologist done, there's some other stuff we can do. I should have done this before on the other route. I had to remember how to do this. So if you want to come up here before you go in to get your vehicle, that would be wise. He's a little bit hidden back here. believe this is it right here. Yep, just keep going uphill. And he's the gent right inside of this area here. So this is how you get to the Planetologist. Pretty cake. Pretty cake. So I come up and talk to this gent. I may already have the item he wants on me.
Step, stranger. Those plans are now.
Alright. Exploring the desert, blah, blah, blah.
Derek Chinara. I learned the hard way.
Alright. He likes to talk. I would like to learn from you. What do you need?
You look like something
Enter Imperial Testing Station number 2. Find the Mimic film and report back. 700 experience, 2,000 Solari. This is useful because we can use this to buy our first shield. And if you're wondering if you need a key, if you pre-purchase the game, they just announced an hour ago that everyone has beta access if you pre-purchase the game. And even if you pre-purchase it right now, you get a key. And this unlocks Planetologist.
That's easy. Somewhere in the station is a
Alright, now I'll return with the manifest. Perfect. So I don't know if I have the manifest on me. Minimic. Nope, nope, nope. So I'm going to have to go back down there and find that. That's fine. We can do that. Let me just make sure I don't have it.
Come back.
Oh, I do have it. Okay. So I already went down and got it.
Have you done as I
So,
asked?
yeah, Imperial. That was in the secret room in the last video, that secret room we went into. So this is what you do with it once you get it.
Yes, of course.
So now we have Planetologist unlocked.
Though I must.
All right. So if you're wondering how I got that, watch the previous live stream that I posted on the same day. When I go through there, there's a secret room in there with the min-mech. All right. So we're in good shape. We are in good shape. So now that we've unlocked that, we're golden. We're going to go north and we're going to build our first base. So Planetologist has now been unlocked. So we can go to our skills. And here we are. So I can get the Suspensor Pad, Cuttery Mining, increase 10% yield, vehicle repair. I'm going to go for the increased yield because I'm going to be crafting a base from scratch. So that's how easy it is. You just come up to the dude, go down in the dungeon, find the secret room. It's a bookcase with an orange orange highlighted light on it. And you bring back the Mimic. I'm pretty sure that's the right one. I could be wrong, actually, but there's about 3 different quests down there. So it's kind of annoying to know which ones are which. All right. But we're going to go north, and we're going to build out that base now. I'm going to show you all the things you need to know about iron. So when you're picking your iron base... Okay, watch this. Woo! Okay. When you're picking your iron base... You want to have as many areas of water collection around you as possible. In the early stages of the game, water is everything to production. It's everything. If you don't have water, you can't produce iron, and you need quite a bit. You'll get to a point where it's not a big deal, but there's a lot of cool stuff. For instance, I got a schematic from a dungeon, which gives me a dagger that extracts blood from people when I hit them. So now I'm getting blood just from fighting in melee combat. Alright, so I need to figure out where I'm going to do my crossing. Alright, let's just do it. We're strong men. We're just going to go straight. Here we are. Let's do it. Oh, fuck me, dude. Alright, hold up. Alright, we may not make it. I might have to pull back because I had to stop moving. Yeah, we're going to have to pull back. The worm, that messed me up. The worm's going to pop up and be too much of a problem. We need to, when you cross this desert, you need to just go straight. There he is. He's pretty, isn't he? You need to build your small ore refinery in your base, wherever your base is. You just hit R. Hit R. There are 3 icons. There's one for building placement. Here, I'll show you. You're asking about building. I'll show you. Take out your thing. Hit R. This is how you navigate. These are all of your equipments. This is all your furniture and decorations, and these are your building sets. That's how you access all of the stuff for building. Yeah, if you go through the light, it catches you. Okay. So, at this point, there's 2 things we want to do. We want to build, and we want to go to Anvil. Now, Anvil is a town where you can buy everything that you need to be successful. And I will repeat that. Instead of, making your life a living hell, get as much money doing contracts, running around doing dungeons in the first area, and then come up to Anvil. Now, there's a few things you can do. You can get downed aerial vehicles, and sometimes you'll get like Blood Collector 2, and you'll get some of the things that you need. Oh man, that's getting crazy over there. But you can purchase a lot of it too. So what we're gonna do is go to the town. Oof. So yeah, we made it across. Everyone's hunky-dory. Woo, look at that. And you can see the town is in the background. It's that building that's lit up with lights right there. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the town. And I'm going to show you where you can buy everything. You can actually buy vehicle parts. You can also get a scrap bike for free here if you want to give it to a friend. But they suck. Just a forewarning, they suck. And honestly, making your first bike shouldn't take you more than an hour or so if you know what you're doing. And you're not having to, you know, dilly-dally too long. It's pretty easy to get. So yeah, we're going to go straight there. If we see any downed aerial vehicles, I'll show you how to mine those. That ship crash over there in the second zone, that ship crash here, that's actually a PvP zone, so be careful. So there's a ship crash right there, so this is a good way to get a random assortment of loot. You can also sell some of these items because they have no use to you till later in the game, and you can get tons of them. So I like to try to sell this stuff. Now the worm is really close. I'm circling to find what we need. Alright, if you don't see it on one side, it's all another. Get your cut array out. Zip it across. Hold it. Grab it all. Oh, fuck, the worm is coming. The worm is coming. Alright, we gotta get out of here. So, you saw that I just got heavy armor? Yeah, there's the worm. You saw that I just got a heavy armor set? That's a iron heavy armor set. So, I just got iron set of armor without doing jack anything. Now that we're out of worm territory. So this is what I got. I got 31 plasteels, 11 mechanical parts. Now I can craft this Karpov 38. I already had that in my inventory. I just got the heavy jerkin. This is a heavy armor set. This is the best that you can get in the whole beta right now. This is the best armor. And that is all she wrote there. So yeah, we got a bunch of other parts. 52 Holtzman actuators, 129 complex machinery. And what I'm going to do is sell these and buy the things that I want. So what I'm trying to show you here is how you can get all the gear that you need for this area without having to spend 3 hours like hand making all of it. If you have money, which I do, you can come up here and buy it. This bike station is to protect your vehicle. And this station always has one scrap vehicle. If you walk up to it and you hold F, I can claim I can claim ownership of this. I don't want it. It's a piece of shit. But if you need a bike for your friend and you don't like your friend, that's the bike you give him. So it's right there for you. Now we're going to walk in here and it's going to do a whole cinematic. This is where you first do your missions for House Atreides and House Harkonnen. This is where I can buy stuff. These individuals over there are doing their thing. This is House Harkonnen. This is House Atreides. They give you a mission that you can do. Here is the main thing you want to do, contracts. Contracts are where it's at. As you can see, some of them you can't do because you can't go to the areas that are necessary, but the money and experience you get from these are amazing. So accept all of these contracts, move on. But here's the real deal. Here's the money. So we're going to trade with this gent. I'm going to sell some of the stuff that I got. So I want to sell the Holtzman actuators. So I can sell all of those. That's another 260. The rangefinders, those are pretty good to sell. I'm going to sell all those. I'm just going to sell pretty much all that stuff I got off the wreck because I don't really need it right now. Yeah, sure, why not? Even the armor plating, you get so much of this stuff. The manifest, but yeah, the complex machinery, there's another. So there's like $1,000 I just made. Some of the stuff's going to be really expensive. So here you go. We're going to go to buy. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. So you can actually buy casual clothing and stuff here. Pretty cool. You can buy extra parts for things if you need them. They're really, really overpriced. But where here's the important stuff. The Blood Extractor Mark II, you can purchase it here for 2,600. It's actually something that drops in this region quite frequently. I wouldn't exactly purchase this unless you had extra money. The main thing you want to purchase here is the Cutter Ray Mark II. This is necessary for you to get iron So you can see down there, mining yield 72 on copper, granite, salvage metal. The mining yield on iron 48. Really think about that when you are out there mining things. Look at the mining yield of the equipment. There are specialty versions of things. I've gotten things that can get more iron and less copper. So you might actually be in a position where you have 2 cut array. Like, really look at that stuff because it's going to make a huge deal. So this is the first thing you buy. Now I don't have to do all this crazy stuff, and I can immediately start mining iron. So I don't have to go for 4 hours of getting all that crap. A medium blood sac. These things are a little expensive to produce early game, so not a bad idea. The Holtzman Shield Mark II. The shield is one of the most important things in the game as far as PvE and PvP goes. If you have the money, definitely buy it. Don't worry about handheld resource scanners. They're really nice, but you can make them. And the Dew Reaper. This is the second thing you're going to buy. I already have one. So you need about 6 grand. You're going to get the Cut Array, and you're going to get the Dew Reaper. And with the Dew Reaper and a Leader John, you're going to be able to get all the water and everything you need in the game. So now I have the capacity to survive this area, all for 5,000. You can drive there like within the first couple hours of the game. And as I stated earlier, if you purchase the game, they just announced an hour ago, you all got beta keys. Go to Google it. Google it. They just made a huge announcement. All right. So we did it. We got everything we need. This is a Leader John, and I am running out of water. I have another Leader John over here. So you can put water in here, and that's the only way to get above the dew point. So now what we have to do is find a location for our base. So pretty easy. I showed you how to get a dew collector, showed you how to get the cut array, showed you how to get Planetologist, all in 15 fucking minutes. There you go. Easy peasy. All right, so we're going to need a little bit of stuff. And we got a new cut array now. So we're going to use this in place of our shit cut array. And this thing is going to get us better yields. Now the blood collector, all this stuff, you typically always get a better yield on the higher stuff. So if you want to decrease the amount of time that you are grinding, you're going to want to upgrade to these tiers as fast as possible. This is live, Jesse. You don't have to wish you can watch it live. It is. There we go. Your wish has come true. All right. So what we're looking for is an area with a bunch of dew points. Let's hit the pause button here. I don't see anything yet, so I'm gonna look for a nice little area. It'd be nice to have a few good nodes. So right here. These are the plants that we get. Now at nighttime, like I said, you can harvest these with the dew collector. We can hydrate a little bit. Perfect. All right. So we need to start gathering all the resources for a new base. We're going to build our advanced sub-fief console. We're going to do that all together. So I just hit level 16. So this is about the level you want to be when you come to the second region. At some point I might do some ball stuff. Got to shoot some balls in the air so that we can get the whole area. But now I can do iron. So if you came up here straight, you would not be able to cut iron until you get that cut array Mark II. And you'd probably spend 4 to 3 hours messing around before you figure that out. So in literally 5 minutes, you can get to a point in the game that takes most people 5 hours. Just by going there and buying it. I would do that. I do it every single time. It is the fastest way to get into iron production. All right. Woo! Oh no. I took a shortcut that I should not have taken. So we were able to go into the 4th area that we're not allowed to go into. So this is the top of the eastern zone here. As you can see, so we can't do the missions over there. Alright. So we gotta be a little smart. I'm gonna have to go the long way out. That is one of the quandaries of going this way. Now, personally, the eastern part of the map isn't the best. So we're gonna go to the west. Oh, I saw you, Bravery. I'll see you in a bit. I'm gonna do some streaming. Okay. And yeah. We got a group of about 10 people on right now, Bravery. And then we got 5 or 7 or 8 more coming later tonight. Alright. So yeah, we need to get over to here. And we're going to try to find the best base possible. So like I said, the best base is going to be one where you have a lot of dew next to you. And one where you have the ability to harvest blood pretty easily. And also, you know, having a bunch of granite always helps too. There's a lot of cool places. I highly encourage you to explore the game. There's a lot of neat locations. There's some caves that you can build in. They're kind of difficult to get to sometimes. Right. Alright. Okay, so there we go. Now we're on the right track. So look at this spot. That would have been a good spot, but too many people. Look at that plant spot there and a plant spot there. All of these nodes. You got grass. This is actually a ooh, I like this. I like this place. You got everything you need to be successful right here. Look at all that granite. And you got lots of bodies to shoot at. Ooh, this is a beautiful spot. This is a spot made in heaven. This is not a bad spot. I'm not going to lie. This is a really good spot. You got all that iron. You got granite. You got people to shoot and take their blood. You got... Oh, another... Ooh. Ooh, that is a lot of liquid. There's 2 patches right there. We got 2 patches of liquid right there. And we have a couple more patches of liquid on the other side. So at night, we could get about 8,000 water. You can get about 2,000 during peak. This is it. This is the spot. We found our spot for our base. So this is where I am on the map. I guess we are going to build an East Vermilion just for the sake of this. But these are the kind of things that you're looking for when you're building out a base. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to murder somebody. Dude, don't hit my bike. So this knife that I have, you can see I just got 1,000 blood off of him. I have a specialty knife that sucks. It's called Caliph's Drinker. It's from a Blueprint. So again, every item in the game has a really cool, cool little thing like that. The game has a lot of uniqueness to it because I had a sword that shocked people when I parried them. That was my favorite. How quickly do resources respawn? It's so fast, dude. I think it's like 10 minutes. I think it's like 10 minutes for nodes to respawn. I know a lot of people are worried about like being trolled, right? You're worried that someone's gonna come and it's gonna take you an hour. No, dude, their stuff respawns so quickly. Don't worry about it. Okay. So now we're gonna build a base. So we can't build it here because that's worm territory right here. Okay, so we can build our base right in the middle of all of these points. This is a cool spot. Look how flat it is too. And the worms can't get in here because it's in a canyon. This is actually a pretty cool little spot. So the first thing I want to do is get the hell out of the sun. And I think I'm going to murder everyone around me real quick. Yeah, it's real fast. I'm going to murder all these people. And, you know, I might just take a little bit of their blood. There's nothing weird about it. Just a little bit. Oh, my blood. I'm full up on blood. All right, we'll need to make some mediums. But yeah, this is a beautiful place for making our first community. I can imagine the tea parties that I'm going to have here. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, look at that. There's actually more. So there's about 5 water areas around here. This is actually really, really good. And then these bodies at a later point I can pull into the Freeman death stills. And, you know, we can have ourselves a lot of water. So the amount of water... Oh, there's another one over there. I should probably not have streamed this. This is one of the best base spots I have found in the game. There's another... Oh my god, there's another one over here. Holy shit. That's like 14,000 water a day. That is 14,000 water right there. And I haven't even explored everything. That is a lot of water. I don't care that your mom didn't give you cookies. Leave me alone. All right. So now we're going to build our base. So there's... Now that we're in the second area, we get the second set. So if you go House Atreides, you get the Atreides set. If you go Harkonnen, you get the Harkonnen set. And then there's other sets that are going to come out in DLCs. So now you can build out the... I actually don't like the comb facility. It has more HP, but I prefer, to be honest, the first one. Has less HP, it also takes less granite, and I think it looks more deserty. So remember what I said? If you place your beacon down and someone removes the tile underneath it, it destroys the entire subfief. So yeah, place your beacon in dirt, and you can, once you place it down, you can move it anywhere. So I can move it over here. Doesn't change the area of my base, so you can move it. Hopefully they remedy that so that the shit floats. So what I found is a good starting little base is about a 3x3. Ooh, look at that. We got shade in here too. This is a nice little spot. 3x3 is a good way to start your first base. But you know me, I like to live on the edge. So I'm going to go 4x3 or 4x4, sorry. We're going to need a little bit more. But yeah, this is, we're living the dream. Look how much iron that we have around us and all the water. We're going to need a lot of water to break this down. It looks like we have a little bit of copper around here too. We have all these people that we can kill, which is going to be great late game when I need death still. So all of these bodies up here, they're going to go towards our water supply. Also, they'll generate the money we need for taxes passively. So if there's ever a point where I can only log in a couple times per month or something, I just walk out here, rob the piggy bank. You know, I got myself a good little house. And yeah, we got copper over here. We're going to need some of that too. We're going to have to get everything set up. So we have all of the resources that we need in this one little area. The water resources are going to be the best, but we're just going to get as much of this as possible. A lot of granite, and this will respawn pretty quick. This means we're going to be able to build a very large base very, very quickly. Yeah, there's copper here. I'm not going to lie, I wish I didn't show you guys this because I think this is probably one of the best base sites I've found, and I want it all for me. So, just remember who showed you this. Luckily, there's going to be a lot of Haga basins. This is one of the sweetest spots I've seen, though. This is a good spot for an early game iron base. I'm not gonna. It's really nice. Eventually, it won't matter. Eventually, bodies will produce more water than anything. So, that's a beautiful thing. All right. So, what we actually had decided on is building a new style of base. So, I'm actually going to build this out a little bit more. And it's essentially a glorified parking garage. What we kind of realized is we want the vehicles to actually be stored up top and all the crafting to be in the bottom. Because going upstairs 20 times every time you log in doesn't make a whole lot of sense. When you park a vehicle, you're only going to park it for the night. You're only going to do it once. So we actually created an above ground garage and kept all our crafting in the bottom area, and found it to be really cool. Now I do the beautification second. The first thing you want to do is just get the foundation of your logistical systems. So we're going to build all of this. I don't know if that went the right way, but that's cool. And I don't like to do windows on the bottom floor. I like to do them on the second. They let in the natural sunlight. It gets really dark, so you do want to use windows. Okay, so I'm going to have... Okay, that's going to be a way in. Okay, so we're going to have a doorway here. And we're going to have a double door right here. Now, the way that you want to do your double doors, as we need more, is you want to have a flat surface in front of them, so it's easier to drive things in. Bravery, I'm really glad that you no longer need the cream for your massive hemorrhoids. That's great. No, that is cool. That's awesome. He doesn't have hemorrhoids, but he does have cream. This is a stupid good spot, dude. I've never seen this much water. I honestly want this. I want this all for me. This is one of the best. I was trying to find 3 to 4 patches, and that's ideally you find 3 to 4 patches, and because the shield walls here, I totally just like ignored this area. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet spot. I didn't come over here to look. We just happened to be here, and on further inspection, I realized it's really nice. Very nice. Okay, yeah, so all the nodes, they respawn about every 10 minutes or so, but yeah, we'll need a bit of granite. And we're going to have ourselves a nice little above-ground garage. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Another beautiful day in Dune. Look at that, more water over here. Shit, dude. So we're gonna zoom in. It only shows one water on, like 1 or 2 waters on the radar, but it's literally everywhere. It's literally everywhere. It's yeah, more over here. There's probably around 20 to 24,000 worth. So I'm gonna need a lot of liter johns. I'm gonna need like 24 liter johns to get all this water. This is absurd. All right. But once we get enough of this, we do need a bit of scrap. Sometimes you'll come across stuff like this, but you can't do crap with it. So you can see the dew. You can see the dew in the air, kind of, at this time of day. So I can fill my liter john, but it's poor. If we hit T, we're looking for dawn. So we can see it's poor harvest time. You can usually get about 2,000 on a whole pool at proper harvesting time. So that's pretty sweet. If you go the Planetologist route, you also can level a skill. Okay, we're full up. You can also level a skill that increases how much dew collection you get. So let's get this proper. All right. So the way that you want to do the entryways to your garage is flat. You don't want to do a staircase up into it because it's a ridiculously hard thing to get in when you do it that way. So we'll make this pretty later if I have time. I probably won't even have time. So yeah, ramp up like that. And I guess we can make it just a little pretty. Just a little pretty. Yeah, you can do a ramp up like that, and you're going to have a lot easier time getting into your base. For all vehicles, the bikes and the buggies. There we go. And then for our main area here, do a normal staircase up. There we are. Perfect. And so, yeah, what you do here then is you have another ramp. Baby, come on. All right. And you can do this any way you want. You want it to be 2 tiles, so they come in like so. I would think we want to double ramp it. And I'm going to do 2 tiles up. But this is kind of the cool little thing that my friends and I realize would make a whole lot more sense. Now, don't do rooftop. You want to do floor. You have roof, rooftop, and roof floor. So it looks a lot cooler. But anyway, we're going to have a giant parking garage up here. And then you have room for all of your crafting station below. That way, when you're done for the day, you go upstairs, but downstairs is where all the action happens. And so you have a nice little crafting area here. I'm just going to need a lot of granite. So, I don't know. I kind of like this, and I wish there was a half ramp, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But I love the wedge wall pieces in here because you can do stuff like this, you know, and then there's cool little archways. I like the archways quite a bit. Like there's rounded windows, there's rounded XYZ stuff. But you're gonna want windows on the second tier. That way you get natural sunlight coming in because it gets super freaking dark in here. Oh, that's outer face. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're there, man. Yeah, let's put a door to nowhere. There we go. Interface. I think I did that guy backwards. I don't care anymore. But yeah, it's going to take quite a bit of granite. That is one benefit, though, of building your bases in the lower tier stuff, is you can get away with a lot more. I don't personally think that HP matters because you're in the PvE zone. And yeah, no one cares. No one cares. No one's going to attack my base, really. At least not here, no one's going to attack. I think the higher up areas I've read, there actually might be raids. So let's get our shield generator up so we don't do anything stupid. Put it here for now. I'll probably actually put it... Some of the better places to put stuff like this is over here where you don't plan on going. But yeah, we have a lot. So if you leave your lower area for crafting and drop-off, honestly, it makes more sense. My last base, I had crafting all the way up here, which means every time I came to my base, I had to run all the way up. So I'm just going to use this for storing both buggies and aerial vehicles. It's very simple base. We're thirsty men, so we need to suckle from our leader, John. Yes, so cool. Perfect. And now we can go back out and you can see a lot of the stuff has regenerated. And it is a little tricky to hit that optimal dew time. And you have such a limited time. That's why you really only need 3 to 4 of these. Because it's going to be kind of hard. Yeah, see, it's poor harvest time. It's going to be kind of hard for us to hit this optimally. All of them. There's just so many. Probably like 2 people would be great. No dirty windows, that's right. We got lots of people to shoot though, which makes this one of my favorite areas. But yeah. You know, a lot of stuff though is susceptible to change. They might make it so respawns take shorter or longer periods of time. What's important though is that we just get we get some fuel in here and we get this place protected. That's enough for 10 hours. That's good enough for me. Fields up. But yep. I mean, I do have a bike. We may have to go around a little bit. But yeah, it typically takes about 10 minutes. So I'll make my rounds. I'll shoot a couple people. Especially if I don't like them. Good. It's good target practice, right? Honestly, I just hold the trigger down sometimes. There we are. The fuck was that? Throwing bombs at me? Not cool. All right. Yes, the dew. Yeah, there's just so much. Even at poor harvest, we can go out here and get like a thou. So, this is the best. Honestly, like, this is the lazy way to get stuff, and it's awesome. You can get so much water, and then we can put it into our base to get all the materials that we need. We're going to need a little bit of copper that I don't have. So copper is going to be kind of a bottleneck here. So we want to get as much of this as possible. Sometimes it shoots a different direction than you're pointing. It happens to us all at this age, but I don't know why it happens to me all the time now. I think there's a little bit of a glitch with the game sometimes. Perfect. Yeah, and you get a lot of experience this way too. You can see I'm getting quite a bit of XP. I mean, not right there. There's like 2 or 3 or 6. Okay, so we got enough. There's some granite over there. So essentially at this stage of the game, all I'm doing is making it pretty. But this is the stage where things get just a tad bit grindy while you're going into iron. So if you have friends, which I do, and we already have a big base with everything, you can get this done in like 30 minutes to an hour. But if you're by yourself, it's going to take you a little bit. It's going to take you a little bit longer. But it's worth it, especially if you can get to the higher tier in storage. And remember, when you're inside a base, everything pulls from all storage available. So it's really cool. You can just throw stuff into a chest and not have to think about it. So we're going to just toss everything in here. Not even going to organize it. Old cut array. All right, yeah. Keep my leader, John. For the knife. We got a bunch of blood. I think primarily right now what I would like to do is get some basic stuff. So let's get a blood purifier. I'm going to get that up right here next to the door so people can just walk straight in. Eventually I'll need a blood purifier Mark II, but I don't have it. But I have so much blood that I'm going to need 2 of these bad boys. Let's get all that in there. Perfect, perfect. Then I want to get like cisterns up. I'm going to get it all up. So let's... places like this are perfect. Under staircases like this are perfect for like ore refineries. I typically like to get 2. 1 for copper and 1 so I can do... that's a little weird looking, sorry. And 1 so I can do iron. But we're going to need a little bit of salvage metal, so we're going to go back out there, get our stuff. See what we got in our inventory. Got 42. Okay. Oh, yeah. Some of the dungeons I go into, you need like 1,000 rounds. So I always have as much darts as possible. Let's do this. All right. All right, so my Dew Reaper is getting a little. Oh, it's optimal harvest time. So this is the. Let's look at this. So you see what time it is, gents? I think it's been a little bit over optimal harvest time. That light blue, that's optimal harvest time. So we're gonna fill our leader johns, and then we can actually throw these into our water storage once I build it. Dang it! Yeah. I got sidetracked. For some reason, I think it's funny my dude's running around barefoot. I really need to get some boots. I feel like I need to punish him, though. I don't know why. Alright, and no... Yeah, we're full up. I have no container. Okay, cool. So, you can see all of the granite has respawned. Copper. We're going to need a lot of copper to build our chem station and stuff. So, yeah, don't underestimate how much copper ore... I should actually pick all that stuff up. Don't underestimate how much copper ore you're going to need. Plant fiber is really hard to find up in this area, so you should grab that too. Honestly, I just grab everything. You need it all. You need everything. If you don't think you need everything, you're gonna have a bad time. You eventually will need a lot of this stuff. All right. Got caught on a rock. Perfect. Alright, look how much granite we got now. Okay. 460 granite. That should be enough to actually get quite a bit done. One of my other favorite things in this game is the piece part picker. You can just literally just pick something you've already built and get to it. Saves a lot of time trying to find it, especially some of the stuff that's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, here's the above ground parking garage. So all vehicles will be stored up here long term. And we'll use the entire southern area or lower deck for crafting. Very, very simple base. But you can go, I think, up to 8 or 10 stories. You can go pretty tall. Oh, I want that. I don't even know if I want that. Yeah, we're going to leave that open. Up here, though, I'm going to have all the windows in the world. Now, one thing I wish I could do is place multiple pieces at once. I do kind of hate having to place one at a time. One thing I found, though, is when you can just place something and not do anything, it's kind of annoying to come back and build stuff later. So I just prefer to build stuff as I place it, because it's really, really annoying having to come back. This is my 6th playthrough from scratch. I don't know, dude. I have you can't ask me a general question because I'm not a general person. It's like asking a crazy person if eating Skittles every day gets tiring. It's like, I'm a freak, dude. I'm a freak, and I love Skittles. Taste the fucking no. Taste the rainbow. Yeah, you can't ask me. No answer I give you is an answer that you can use for anything useful, because I am not a normal person. Best advice I could give you. Yeah, this will be erased again. That's right, Skittles are awesome. I think we should start a group of people who hunt down anyone who disagrees. Rooftop. Alright, cool. So, the first stage of any base is not perfection. The first stage of a base is usability. So, get it up, get a roof so that the sandstorms don't come in and toss you. And then then do the beautification like one step at a time. Make it pretty. Put some columns out there. Make a nice little place where you can walk outside and shoot your neighbors. All the fun stuff. So yeah, up here, giant parking garage. Down here, crafting. Very, very simple, very easy base to make. Oop, we should probably unload all our resources. Always forget to unload. All right, there we go. And yeah, if you hold E, you store like kind items. I'll show you that when I get back. I needed. If you hold E, it won't place anything in your inventory in that box unless it already exists inside that box. So if you're tired of looking through each box trying to figure out where things are, just hold E and just go down the line, and you don't have to think at all. Pretty cool. But we need more everything. Copper. Need more granite. But you can see how easy it is with just $5,000, 5 or 6,000 creds. You get your Cutter A, you get your Dew Reaper. You should already have a Leader John from down there, and you just go ham. Leader John is a really easy thing to create. I mean, we can create more of them if we want. But once you get to that stage, you're pretty much golden. Harvest all the iron you can. So like I said, this will be the bottleneck, is getting all the things we need for that. Hello, friend. Yes, I do want your blood. I want it all. Yep, gotta get that butt blood. There we go, beautiful. Glorious, glorious blood. Gonna get a little bit of scrap from over here. Some people borrow a cup of sugar from their neighbors. I borrow a cup of scrap. There we go. Give me that scrap. All right, but yeah, we're doing fantastic. Ooh, got some copper. You need a lot. It's kind of surprised. I think the biggest mistake I made was not realizing just how much resources I need. Now, we did put 1 rank into Planetologist to get a 10% yield, too. When you think about it, every 10-1 is like I'm getting an extra one. That's a pretty powerful thing. We're going to need a bit of scrap here, too. Ooh, it's getting hot. It's getting hot out here. It's getting hot. All right. I don't need too much more iron. I primarily just need granite. And we've got most of what we needed to finish the base, but that didn't take too long, did it? Realistically. Now imagine if I had a friend. Maybe a friend who has a cream addiction, but he's too busy doing other things right now to help me. Let me build this magnet. I'm just joking. Okay. Yeah, we got enough for 10 tiles. It's not quite enough, but so you can see the natural lighting is really nice to have in an area. Comes right in through the windows. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It looks a little bad. Like I said, beautiful. It does look bad. I don't even like it, but later on I'll come back and I'll make it pretty. Right now I'm just trying to get it all going, right? Here we go. Ooh. We want to get as much scrap as possible. Scrap is life, man. Scrap is life. Bullets, bullets, bullets. I cannot say it more and more times. You need a lot of bullets. Alright. Ooh, fuel cells. Yay! No, that's salvage. My bad. That's a fuel cell. There we go. Alright. Now, every fuel cell is 1 hour on this bad boy. So, we're probably going to need multiple generators here. Let's deposit. At least get ourselves a day's worth of energy. Okay. So, we've got our whole area enclosed. Beautiful. So now we have an upstairs parking garage. It's a wonderful garage. I don't know why I'm barefoot. I didn't have pants on. Like, I'm gonna be honest. This is the look I aspire to in the game right here. It's a really fun. It's a really good look. I like it. I like it a whole lot. But I lost my shoe. I have a gambling problem. All right. I bet my shoes. I bet my shoes and I lost. Oh yeah. So if you go up here and hold E, see, put the copper, because there's copper in there. Hold E, put the iron, because the iron was in there. Hold E, didn't have anything that matched, so nothing was put in there. Very, very cool. And all that stuff I got from my leader, John, I can throw in here, but we're going to build some of the cooler stuff now. So what we need to do is start processing the copper ore, and then I need to get another one of these bad boys up. So we're just going to start going down the line. I may need to get another generator up. I should probably preemptively do it and go out and get some fuel, but whatever. We're going to get ourselves a nice little fabricator. So I'm going to place my fabricator right here. Beautiful, beautiful spot for a fabricator. All right. Utilities. Let's see. Recycler would be nice. Not necessary. Yeah, we need a little bit of copper. So you need 25 copper ingots for a water cistern, which we definitely want. I have enough salvage metal that I can continue to place storage. These are the worst storage in the game. You're going to want to upgrade these pretty much immediately, but we need them for now just because you need a lot of storage. I'm going to be honest, I was playing earlier with around 8 people, and holy shit, we had like all the storage containers you could think of, and we were just stocked full of crap. So it is a little intense actually playing in these larger groups. It's fun, but yeah, it's intense. And then we'll get another small ore refinery down here. I thought I already had one back here. That's weird. And we do have a little bit of water, so I can make 31. So you can see right there, a lot of water. But we're going to make some iron now. We're in business. Got multiple blood purifiers. Eventually I'll get to tier 2. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go hit all. So let's see. Blood purifier, ore refinery. Need a chem station. We're making copper ingots. We're going to have to go out and get lots and lots of copper ingots. So bring those from the south if you can. Recycler, guess what? Copper ingots. Yeah. So everything that I want is limited by the copper ingots. Now you can buy a beautification set at the town, which I probably should have. I'm going to put a light here. But there you are. There's your fancy feast. So essentially all I'm going to do is just go outside now and look specifically for copper nodes and try to get as much copper in here as possible. Now this is a pretty sweet area. And you probably should get a little bit of granite in case you want to make your area beautiful. This thing goes up really, really high. You can make your bases big. Yeah, I like double wide ramps. I got a big tank, man. Big tank. Honestly, the game you can kind of go all over the place, so best to afford yourself, but you can go with one if you want. Running around barefoot is a sign that I am one with the... Oh, goddamn, it's hot. Just waiting for them to... I'm waiting so I can kill them again. But yeah, we got some scrap down here. This game is essentially a hoarder's wet dream. It's just like... If you like taking scrap metal and shooting at your neighbors, man... Fucking Dune Awakening, dude. That's what Dune Awakening is all about. Robbing your neighbors of their copper and scrap metal. Shooting at them. Alright, we got a good amount of stuff here. But yeah, copper is going to be the big bottleneck. But once we get those foundations down, not really an issue. Pretty cool, actually. I got like this whole backyard area with lots of people to shoot at. Go over here and see if there's any copper. What the hell is this? Huh. This is an interesting little place. So this is a claim ownership, scrap bike. This is an interesting little place. I don't think I've seen it before. Alright, let's get some blood. Oh, nice. Spice. Store all the spice that you get. If eventually, once we do the main quest line, which I'm not even going to do in this beta gameplay because it's... Yeah. I don't want to burn myself out too much. I've done it 4 times. You get your 3rd ability and you get some super perk abilities. I'm mainly interested in just... Oh, that was some really bad shooting on my part. Oh, good God, man. Jerks, man. Jerks. Just remember, you got beat by a guy with no shoes. He had no fucking shoes, man. He just came in and killed everybody. I don't know what his problem was. Oh. Oh, fuck me. Alright, I need to get to a better footing. Yeah, bitch! I got no shoes! You can't beat the— oh, shit! Good God, I got locked on, I got locked on. Yeah, see, when you get close like that, you get locked on and you can't lock out. You can't log out? Okay. I need to drink some water. Oh God, there's two of them? Yeah, I'll wait, man. I'll wait. Jesus Christ. Oh. Yeah, you're done. You're done, man. Oh my God. What a jerk. Yeah. That's the calling card of my clan, is we don't wear freaking shoes. You see the shoeless man, you know that death is near. A man who does not care about his feet does not care about your life. Alright. Ah, here we go. Nice! Fuel cells. Precious fuel cells. This is a pretty good little dungeon. Nice. Yeah. We got some EMF micros. I need those. I need all this stuff. This is my house now. This is a neat little dungeon. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's a lot more. This is what happens when you find a secret passage when you're building a house. Alright. Yeah, there's a bit in here. I'm gonna bring him to me. Alright, we'll come back. I'll come back. Guys are jerks, man. They're making me work for it. Yeah, loot boxes all reload. Takes like 15, 30 minutes. You can't mess with a man who has a mustache like this. My friend said when I didn't have my pants on, I looked like Dr. Disrespect, and it was very amusing to me. He very much did. Okay, so this is my house now, by law, right? You come in somewhere and you murder everyone, you get their stuff. Oh, look at that medium blood sack. I mean, I can make them, but that's a good prize. Now I can take the blood of my enemies in larger quantities. And then, like I was talking about earlier, sometimes you get the blood extractor Mark II. So the Mark I does 1,000 blood, the Mark II does 2,000 blood. So, you know, double the blood per extraction is definitely very valuable for the water collection game. Need those ammo? Get some more stuff. But you can see the dungeons up here are a lot bigger. Alright, we got it all. We got it all. Okay. Everything's in really good order. Yeah, with the amount of water we have around our base, even at poor rates, we're going to be able to pull so much water to power through the iron stage of this game. Once you get to the next tier, you can just bring bodies to your base and get 24,000. So this isn't really like a long-term base, but it's a really good early game base for sure. Yeah, I poke you. How do you like that? I poke you hard. Ow! What a dick! He slapped me in the face with a taser and threw a grenade at me? What a jerk! I don't like this guy. There's so many of them. How many people have I killed since I entered this place? I was just curious. I just wanted to see what was here. Alright, let's get his blood. Come on. Come on. Yep, get that butt blood. There we go. My god, dude. This is one of the biggest freaking areas ever. There's just people and bodies. Oh boy. Where am I? Oh yeah, we were already here. Okay. I think I might be lost. We went that route. I'm gonna retrace my steps. Came down here. Did a loop-de-loop. Okay, so I guess that was it. I think that was it because we got the main chest loot. So there just must be multiple ways into this main dungeon area. Oh good god. Oh good god. Shooting his little electric balls at me again. Shit. God. Crap. Got all glitched out. Sometimes that happens. Alright, cool. Yeah, I got glitched out. I couldn't shoot my gun for a second. This is a cool little place. Oh my god. There's more loot. This is the craziest dungeon. I didn't know this was a dungeon here. Here's the band to get through that shield door too. Alright. Let's make sure that we don't leave any loot behind. Okay. This is the longest secret dungeon ever. Okay. Nice. We got one for free. Handheld resource scanner. They're cool. They can help you navigate to places. The EMF generators though. This is a cool little dungeon. What the heck is this? You got a little sneaky hole. Oof. Bandages? Yeah, don't mind if I do. Oh my god. More loot. Oh, nice. Shotgun schematic. Iron infused. More. The sandbike scanner. More stuff. I almost missed that too. I almost missed that and I saw that little hole. Yeah, so this base basically has access to some pretty cool stuff. Oh, and water. Big old thing of water right here. I'm going to fill all my stuff. That. I don't want to listen to that guy's story. Is there more? Is there more? Okay. Alright, that was it. I don't know if there's any damage penalty being barefoot. At this point, it's just my my signature to look. That was a freaking insane dungeon. I expected to find a couple people in a chest. I didn't expect to find that level of loot. Game's full of that stuff too. It's just full of those little things. That was the coolest little dungeon ever. What was that? Yeah, that was just a basic. That was Suckalussus. Okay, whatever. I feel like I'm trolling myself saying that, but whatever. All right. Well, I think all my nodes have respawned. All right. So you can pull your skills out at any time, just to let you know. So yeah, we need to look at getting back. I like to use this ability when I'm mining nodes. Makes it really nice. I'm really liking the mustache look, though. I think this is definitely the future of what I'm gonna look like in the game. Need a bit more copper. We're really close to having the base finished off, and yeah. See, it's poor harvest time, but we can still fill both of the leader johns that I have. We just did. I mean, that's what's amazing about this, is you don't have to sit there and min-max. Like, you can just come out here and get as much as you need. And then we can go back and we can make iron with it. We're going to be able to get to the iron stage really, really fast from here. Perfect. Alright, copper, 39 more ingots. Iron, 20 more ingots from the water that I just brought in. Alright, so there's a couple things that I would like to do. What are you doing, sir? Okay. Let's put the blood into the blooder. There we go. We got some good water there. Yeah, cool. So I got 3 sacks. So yeah, having a bunch of sacks full of blood and all that, really good idea. And then, like I said, you can hold E for quick deposit. If there's any matching items, we'll place it in there. That way you don't have to go around and try to figure stuff out. Alright, and then for the rest of the stuff, you just throw it in. All the new stuff. Perfect. And we'll definitely research this. Schematic. Boom. Alright. Medium blood sac can go there. I already have one of these, so happy to put any of this stuff somewhere else. Got some quest items. I can't remove these damn things from my inventory. Got 28 grand on me. I should probably not carry all my money around. It's actually really dangerous, because if you die, you drop a portion of your money. Put my money away here. Get our tool out. Go up here. Poke around. I can build a recycler now. I can build a small chemical station, which is the most important thing. So now we can build fuel. Being able to make your own fuel cells, silicone, low-grade lubricants, all that stuff. Very, very valuable. And the main thing that I wanted out of all of this was, yeah, recycler. So if there's something I don't like, I can just shred it for a base component. Not really that crazy necessary, but still really cool. Let's see. Let's go to research. See what I got. I might need to continue the storyline to some degree. Yeah, I need to do the journey moving on. So I need to do the second tier in order to unlock some of this stuff. I mean, we can go to the journey, and we can go to moving on. Where are we? Moving on, moving on. Find the Fremen, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember which one it is. Anyway, yeah, it's one of these bad boys. Yeah, here we go, moving on. Open the map and abandon your base in Haga Basin South. Okay. So all I have to do now is come over here and hold X on my base in the south. And I just unlock the Blood Purifier Mark II. Now I can research that. I can get these chests, which you need iron to make. I can get the repair station.
Sector weather alert.
I can get the Cutter Mark II. So you see how the Cutter Mark II requires iron ingots to make. That's why I like buying it, because if you buy it, then you can... you have to get the iron out of the dungeons and stuff. It's such a pain in the ass. So a lot of the stuff I already have. I think I definitely want to be able to make Dew Reapers, because I can give those to my clan and help them out. The Cutter Mark II would actually also be a good thing to make. I need to go on an intel point thing, though. Improved Blood Purifier. I can always buy these sacks, to be honest, but the Blood Purifier I can't. But I tend to focus on those things. So if I want to make a Blood Purifier Mark II, which I do, I need 16 silicone and 20 complex machinery. So we've seen some of that stuff around. I mean, I've had it. But that's it. At this point, it's the grind, right? It's just the grind. But that's how you get up here. This is a good base location. I'm not really sure how much more I can show you guys. I gotta get back to my clan here because they're all on right now. So I gotta prepare them because we're trying to get ready for launch day. But anyway, I hope that kind of showed you how easy it is. Like, what is it? What did it take me? Maybe 2 or 3 hours to get here. So this, without it knowing anything, it would take you probably 10 to 12 hours to kind of figure some of this stuff out. So stuff like this will save you some time on launch day. And there's still another 60 hours worth of content in the Haga Basin. And plus the grind. But realistically, this game is just honestly about the experience. And the experience is pretty dope. It is a pretty dope experience. Make sure you get a vehicle backup tool. But yeah, we got this whole up ground area. So this is where you can park vehicles. Excess vehicles can be parked up here, buggies. Eventually I'll make this much bigger. This is just the prototype. It's not bad. It's not a bad area. Keep everything down here, but we got lots of water. I mean, the main thing I actually want to build down here right now, water storage. We need 4 more copper ingots. Yeah, we're not gonna... What the fuck? Did my power go off? Oh no! My power just went off. I need another station. I put down too much. Right in the middle of a sandstorm, so all my stuff just got a little hurt. That was dumb of me. Oh, they're all good. Yeah, they took a little... You see that? They took just a tad bit of damage each. Just a small... That's a good test. It's a good test to see what happens when you screw up. Yeah, I put down too many things. That's fine. We got everything going. But yeah, you can put stuff in the recycler. So I can put my Leader Johns in here and I'll get 1 micro sandwich fiber. I don't want to do that. I can put my sacks in here. I'll get some plant fiber. I don't want to recycle any of this stuff. I'm probably the prettiest man in all of Dune. I'm going to show you Imperial Station number 10. So Imperial Station number 10 is a place on the outskirts of nowhere, but it actually has steel weapon and armor drops along with buggy and bike parts that are Mark III, blueprints that are Mark III, things that I can't build because I don't have steel. But there are things that I can use within this, and it also has the hardest enemies in the game, has the next tier up. Currently in the creator beta, this is about as challenging as it gets. I'm going to solo this dungeon and show off my level 30 BENE Gesserit and my mustache. I gotta show off the mustache. So, right now we have a Sardaukar ship right in front of us, so we're just going to ignore that for the time being. But let's go. Let's get to it. So this is the wonderful world of Dune Awakening. We got our shield on. We're wearing heavy armor. I have an iron gun. I have a pseudo-pulse sword, which is a very good sword. And we have a few abilities. One is Compel, and another is an ability where I can teleport right behind an enemy and start stabbing them. So when we do that, we want to make sure we have our sword out. And here we go. So we can kind of see it. Come up right behind him. Pretty sweet ability. It allows you to teleport pretty vast distances. I will say that the BENE Gesserit is potentially one of the best classes that you can start off as. It's pretty stupid powerful. But yeah, let's keep going. So that's just a little bit. So this is Imperial Station 10, as I said. There is a quest in Anvil that you probably would like to get before you come here. I would recommend when you play the game, you run it at least once with your squad. You get some pretty good, decent drops, and it's a dungeon that if you have a group of people, it's very, very easy to do. The enemies, though, are shielded. Even the heavy gunners are shielded, and so it's a bit difficult. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna compel. So this is one of the things I like to do with the BENE Gess is you do a compel and then a shotgun. Yeah, see, he got his shield up. Ah. Watch this. There we go. Oh, I parried. Oop, he's gonna throw a grenade at me. Oopsie daisy. There we are. And sometimes these gents will drop items. It's really, really rare. One of my friends did get a steel weapon drop once. I mean, we've run this dungeon a bajillion times. This is all I've been doing in the beta is running this, trying to get the sniper rifle. I wasn't lucky. One of my friends did get the heavy pistol, which uses heavy rounds. It's a really good steel gun. And you can build heavy darts in this game. You don't need a weapon fabricator for it. So, yeah. Hey, look at that. I got a sword. So this is a... This does 9. This is a standard sword. It will say artisan if it's steel. So anything that says artisan is your steel weapons. So that was just an iron weapon. This is the pulse sword. This is a blueprinted sword that does 19.4 damage. So this is the iron, right, at 9. This is the blueprinted iron equivalent, and it does twice as much damage. It also electrocutes enemies when I parry an enemy. So if I parry effectively, I will electrocute people with this sword. Pretty dope. All right, here we go.
Welcome to Imperial.
Yeah, you get this sword from this dungeon over here. This is a blueprint that comes out of Imperial Station number 10. You also have chances to have it drop other places, but you have a near one. Currently, I think it changes weekly what drops, but currently there's about 100% chance to get this in this dungeon. So yeah, I like to do the compel shotgun. This is probably one of the best BENE Gesserit setups here. He was a little far away, but it's alright. Okay. Yeah. So we got a bit of shielders. There we go. So yeah, if you're wondering if the BENE Gess is pretty freaking dope. See every time you shoot your gun, my shield drops, right? Shield drops. So that's the advantage of running melee builds is you have your shield. Now your shield will break if enough damage is done to it. So the higher level your shield pack is, so your power pack. So this power pack is going to determine how much power I have, and my shield pack is going to determine shield refresh time, power drain, all that jazz. So the higher level your gear is, the more viable melee builds are. Yeah, they finally fixed teleport. It wasn't working in the creator beta, but it's working now. Oh, the BENE Gess is really good for pulling people out. I just pulled it. See, I pulled him into the flames there and burnt him alive. So that was pretty savage BENE Gesserit move right there. But yeah, you can finally play the BENE Gess to its full ability. I didn't actually know that you could light people on fire like that, so that's something for me to remember. It was a pretty savage move. And there's an enormous amount of loot in here. Parts and everything you need to build some of the more advanced components. Again, I would really recommend running this with your friends. So the first mission brings you over to this cavern. In this station here, you can actually pick up a mini bike for free, a scrap mini bike. Then you can drive it up. You can go get your bike. But the second mission takes you to this cave. So if you want to drive northeast once you get your bike, do the second mission, the deep struggle, and then you can go east with your friends to Imperial Station number 10. It's a really good use of time. You'll likely get some of the better weapons you can get in the game. You'll get a good amount of experience. You can hit Anvil up before you come here too to get the quest line. But we're doing pretty good. So we're gonna run. Ooh, we may have missed the loot room. No, we already got the loot room. I got spun around. Let's just make sure we got everything. Yeah, we did. Okay. We got everything in that room. Cool, cool, cool. We're gonna move on. But the BENE Gess is definitely one of the better solo classes because of its ability to control people. Sometimes the enemy can get a little caught up, but... Jeez. Alright. Let's try to get an electrocution in. I didn't do it quite. But you can see this sword does a lot of damage. The other weapons, you have to slow blade them a few times. So having proper weapons, so we just got an artisan sword, so that is a steel sword. You can see every counterpart does about 50% more, so the standard sword does 9. The next tier up does 16.4. Same speed, but the blueprinted weapons, this is an iron, beats the next tier up. So blueprinted weapons are going to be supreme, and people who get to the deep desert first are going to have weapons that are 50% more powerful on average than the highest tier counterpart. So that's a pretty massive advantage if you're doing 50% more damage than people who have crafted the best gear. I think it puts a pretty unfair advantage on those who get to deep desert first, personally. Okay, we got ourselves a fun little time. Sometimes I like to run around like Zoidberg and I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. And I have nice heal kits, the Mark II heal kits. People are asking me, is it just the bandages? Nah, you get higher tier heal kits. This is a heal kit Mark II. The BENE trainer is somewhere else. I don't know where the BENE trainer is. I started off as a BENE Gesserit. The first trainers you can get are the Trooper and the Planetologist. So I always tell people to never start off as the Trooper, because you get the Trooper unlock within the first hour and a half. It's really a wasted trainer in my opinion. The BENE, if you want to get technical, like the BENE Gess, you start off with the super run speed, which I think is more advantageous than the Sugar Wire. You get it, I mean, you get it unlocked within an hour of playing, so you're really not that disadvantaged. I would start off as the BENE Gess. Personally. But yeah, the fast move ability, really freaking dope. And you can see my shield is protecting me from any and all damage. That's the huge advantage of melee combat, is you do not have to pull your shield down. And a bunch of scrap over here if you want to make bullets. I always carry about 1,000 rounds on me, especially in dungeons where the enemies are pretty spongy. Yeah, the mint, if you're gonna go ranged, I would really advise starting off as a Mentat. But yeah, there's a bit of enemies here, so I'm gonna switch to range. I actually have the Trooper ability to do more damage to mid shots, which are a lot easier to land. You can see the enemies are a bit spongy when you don't have an appropriate weapon. I should have a steel rifle, and I'm using an iron rifle. These are steel level enemies, so if you have the proper weapon, they go down a lot faster. And then there's a lot of good resources in here. Flower sand you need to make silicone. And complex machinery you need to make some other stuff. So a lot of the material, like you run 4 people, you're each going to get your own loot menu. And you might be able to get all the flower sand and silicone you need. Silicone you need to build the blood purification station number 2, which converts 40% of blood to water versus the tier 1, which is only 20. And water is important to mass manufacturing of iron ingots, steel, and all that stuff. And so I got 16 people from my guild into the beta, and I had to build like multiple blood purifiers because we were just coming through here and pulling back like 100,000 blood every hour. So having a blood purification station 2, you're yielding twice as much water from blood. It cannot be stressed enough how important that is to get that up. So yeah, you're gonna want flower sand, and this is a good place to get flower sand early in the game. Okay, so I got a big dude over here, so that's scary. Yeah, I shouldn't have done. Okay, sometimes you get locked in a little bit. Ugh. All right, so we're gonna retreat back just a tad bit. I'm gonna take out this dude. This is why I like this ability, because you can catch them off guard and then kill them like that. These guys can be pretty difficult. Some shit. Those grenades can do up to 80 at tier 1, and they can do 240 damage at tier 2. So grenades are actually pretty viable from the trooper class. Okay. Okay, so that's why the BENE GESSERIT's ability to move quickly without getting shot up is pretty darn important. Yeah, we killed everybody. I really like the BENE GESS. I think the BENE... Personally, I like the BENE GESS a little bit more than I like the Swordsman, but I haven't really gotten to play the Swordsman. I've only gotten to kind of experience it through my friends who played it. But I mean... If you like Dune, you know, you're probably like, I want to be Paul, right? You want to be a BENE GESSERIT melee combat warrior who's super fast and can move around. There's some other skills. Let's take a peek real quick just so I can kind of give you an idea of how much stronger this gets. I didn't really like the stop ability. I found that the compel ability had a much longer time where they can't do anything. Ignore makes you invisible to someone. That's pretty good for those big dudes. This is a technique that reduces voice channeling time. Very cool. Prana Bendu strikes are really good in conjunction with other players because what it does is it throws that person off and people around you can get because they're considered basically stunned or whatever, or there's a technical term for it and I can't remember, but this instability. So instability, there it is. So you do bonus damage to instability characters that are like caught off guard. So this is really good for team play. And then all this stuff up here is a little bit different. Screech, I'm not going to go into that too much. What really makes the BENE GESS amazing is its passives, abilities to heal, things like that. But yeah, you only have so many voice commands, and realistically, Weirding Step and Compel have been my go-to. As you can see, they're very powerful together, especially if you have a shotgun. Yeah, blocking darts with your sword is legit. It is legit. Swordsmen are pretty cool for that. I'm actually going for my PvP character. I'm actually going to run a Mintat Swordsman who can, deflect darts and has the sentry. So that's going to be like and I'm going to run a sniper rifle. I'm going to run a sniper rifle, an SMG, and a sword. And so anyone who comes at me is going to get fucked up. Okay, I got a lot of people coming to kick my ass. So this isn't ideal. So I'm going to try to bait some people out. You want to use your surroundings when you're soloing. I like to kind of dip behind cover. This isn't going to go my way. We need to quickly kill this dude. Oh, I got turned around. Perfect. The big dude's coming. He's not a very good shot, as you can see. Oh, that didn't work on him. So you can see he's a shielded heavy gunner, which makes him... Oh, shit. Yeah, when you get in. Oh, you got me good. Oof. Okay, I'm getting desynced. That's not good either. Yeah, blocking darts, though, would be pretty advantageous here, right? Alright, and his shield is almost down. If I had a minigun, I could blow through him, but I'm going to try to kill him. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So, don't discount melee just because it doesn't look like it works. Once you get the proper setup and you get further in the game, it's very viable as a way to clear enemies. Like I said, when your shields get more powerful and you get better battery packs, you become a lot more tanky. And being tanky is pretty good. The only way to break a shield really is with an SMG or if enough people light you up. But even then, it's actually pretty difficult unless you're landing really, really good shots. But yeah, there's a bit of loot around here. Like I said, you'll get a bit of the materials you need. We haven't even gotten to the good loot yet. And we also haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. There's a much harder part. There we are. Yeah, I'm really glad they fixed that move, because it's probably the best move in the game for this character. This is testing station number 10. But yeah, you can see the enemies are a lot different than the other ones. And you wouldn't think to come here, because it's on the edge of the map in the middle of nowhere. We didn't discover this until really late in the creator beta. Like a couple days, and then we're like, oh wow, you can get artisan weapons here. So you can see also, I was able to get them with their shield down when I used the compel ability, so that's another thing I like about it. Oh, that is a bomb. Oh god, I hit windows, I hit windows, I hit windows. Sometimes I hit windows instead of left alt. I really hate the way that they position that. Okay. Oh my god. Alright. So I electrocuted him, as you can see. Okay. Yeah, don't hit windows. That's my main advice to you. And remember to search. I never like to usually search bodies, but now I always search bodies because my friend got his heavy pistol off a body. It's like a 1 in 1,000 feet. Jeez Louise, die already. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna pull back for a second and heal. But we're getting close to the main loot rooms. You can get some fuel cells down here too, and that's always nice early game. Yeah, don't hit the windows. Jeez Louise. That's the 3rd time I've done it. Yeah, the loot here sucks. I'm gonna skip most of it. The main loot is usually in this chest right here. So we got a leap suspensor belt that just lets you fly up like that. So that's pretty cool that you can get those early. And you'll get shields too in here. Me and my friend, we ran here first in our pajamas, and yeah, we got the Markman 2 shield. If you use tactics and you hide behind cover, even with the basic pistol and enough rounds, I would take about 1,500 rounds in here with just one other person. You can clear this pretty quick. So we're going to compel this person to come at us. And then we're going to mow him down. Okay. There we go. So we're just getting them kind of out in the open. Alright, there we go. That's how you do it. So you can clear 3 people pretty easy. Just divide and conquer kind of strategies. Alright, let's go to the loot room back here. There's a lot of little loot rooms, but the big drops come from here. So like here you can see I got a shield Mark II. So if you ran in here butt naked, you could get to the shield pretty quick doing this. And then yeah, if you need fuel cells for your first base, you're typically going to get a bunch of it. And I end up actually having to dump like the majority of shit on the ground because I already have so much of this. The only thing I would say, do not dump your flower sand. You need silicone for a lot of the advanced constructions and components, so keep all the flower sand that you can get early game. It will save you a massive headache. All right, and then yeah, if you want blood, you can get it. I have so much water at base. Yeah, Imperial Station 10 is right over here, very far east side of Eastern Vermilius Gap. So it's right here. Alright, here we go. We got another area of... So yeah, these are the big dogs. Yeah, this is a bad run. Sometimes you'll get really lucky and you'll get good gear. I mean, so far we got a steel sword. So that's just to show you that you can definitely get a steel drop here. And you can run this... I ran this dungeon in my first 3 hours of playing with a friend. And you got... I've run this dungeon with a lot of people. So this is it. There's about 15 individuals in this room. I don't know how well we're going to do. But I'm going to heal up. You can see I have multiple heal bars. Because I'm a BENE GESSERIT, I have more health. So when you get those abilities, make sure that you're not just healing up to the first bar, but the second bar as well. Alright, let's make sure we're locked and loaded. Okay. So, this is where shit's gonna get real. I don't have anybody to... With 2 people in pajamas, this is easier than just what I'm doing by myself. I have every gun pointed at me. So those 2 gents right there, they're not gonna do shit. As long as I don't engage them. So, there's a dude over there. If I pull this guy, I pull all of these dudes. Okay. I might want to just pull them. Okay. Very good. Very good. And to the left, right, gonna pull him in. He just tried to knee me. So you can see that the enemies get a little smarter. They get all the abilities you get eventually. So you have to be pretty smart about how you dispatch them. Alright, we did it. Alright, so there's a sniper over there. We need to take the sniper out first. He can one-shot you. Okay, sniper's done. Oh, good God. Okay, yeah, not the... Oh, good God. Okay. I gotta take this gunner out. Oh, he's gonna do me bad right now. Come on. Oh, dude. Okay. Okay. Any weapons? Any weapons? No. Now, I do bonus damage to midsection. If you're wondering why I'm not shooting for the head, I'm using the Trooper ability to do 20% more damage. And it's really easy to aim long distances and get torso shots. You can see. Look at that distance, though. Jeez Louise, dude. This guy's tough. And he can break my shield really easy. I have to be careful not to let him kick my ass. Alright, we've cleared a lot. We still haven't killed everybody. There's more. I'm going to clear the top section first. Perf. Okay. And the sniper can sometimes drop some good stuff. He usually drops like a range... He drops heavy darts and a rangefinder because he has a sniper, the thing I'm trying to get more than anything in the world. Alright. Top section is clear. Now it's time to go down. I think there's a... Oh, good Jesus. We gotta take this heavy gunner out quick. Oh, that hurt. Oh, got him. Oh. Alright, we killed everybody. So, if you're wondering where I got the buggy, it's right here. This is a scrap buggy that you can get in the game. Here is the scrap buggy. So, you have to take it apart piece by piece and bring it up, and it will break. You need to run this dungeon with about 7 or 8 people, and eventually, over a day or two, you will get thread mark 3s for the buggy, and you can drive it around. So here's some silicone, but it takes quite a bit of work to get a buggy that is actually operational, but that gives you the foundation right there. So you see here, I got the buggy PSU Mark 3. So you get a bunch of buggy parts in here. This is a lot of the steel items. It's the only place I know of that you can get steel item drops of fully functioning items. I know I saw that someone was saying you can find carbon in the sand using the scanner, but it will take you like fucking 7 or 8 hours to harvest enough for like one steel weapon. And unfortunately, this is gonna end tomorrow, so. I think I missed the big loot chest. Hold on. There's a big loot chest. This isn't where a lot of the stuff is. Yeah, here's the big loot chest. There's another drop here. So I'm getting really bad drops, but I already did get a few of the steel stuff. But you run this, everything, the storage in treasure regenerates every 45 minutes in dungeons. I believe the enemies regenerate like every 15 to 30 minutes though. So what's kind of cool about running this is you can keep going along and get a lot of experience too. I mean, I'm getting a lot of experience, so I will say that doing missions seems to be one of the better ways to get experience though. You can get like 700 experience for some missions, but there's more than enough. Another cool thing is there's a lot of water here, so you don't even have to worry about getting dehydrated, really. Man, that guy took some shots. There we are. 2 dead folk. Got some spice. Keep all the spice you find. You're gonna need it when you get through a lot more of this. But yeah, a lot of the advanced components you need.
Attention, all of you. I know you are all impressed with the daring of our friends.
There we are. But yeah, it's pretty important to have one friend. I'm not gonna lie, like, you can do a lot with just one other person. That's, you know, when people aren't shooting at, when every single bullet isn't hitting your face, it's amazing what you can accomplish. Alright, I got him out. Oh, good God. This isn't good. Okay, I got stuck. Yeah, I'm in bad shape. Oh, I'm in real bad shape right now. we're gonna do the classic runaway strategy. Gonna wait for them to, you know, stop shooting at me. There we go.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
All right. And we're parched, you know, we're parched from that fight. So keeping your water levels high gives you increased stamina, max stamina, and regeneration. So it's really important as a melee fighter to be properly hydrated. You're an athlete, basically. We're getting really shit drops, but you have chance to get a lot of vehicle parts here. Yeah, let's keep healing. There we are. All right, here's the boss room. So there's the boss. He's like this emo dude. He's not really that cool. He's not very hard either. I'm gonna try to take out this guy with the shield. Crap. Yeah, you get back here. I'm like shooting someone point blank. Alright. I'm gonna take out all of his friends first. He's a little spongy. I don't know why I went behind him. I just thought it was funny. Alright, 91 XP for killing him. But yeah, I just got a... What did I get? A Sandbike PSU Mark II. Not bad. You can replace that. That will give you some better energy there. Alright, and so this is where the main loot room is. It's the end of the dungeon. But this is where you get the sword that you currently see me using, which is ridiculously OP. I've gotten pretty much every single time a schematic for it. Oh, this time I didn't get one. We got Mendia's pants. These are iron pants, so these are going to be really, really good. We got a schematic for the Sandbike Mark III engine. So the blueprinted Mark I engine is faster than the Mark III standard engine. So this thing is going to be faster probably than the Mark IV or 5. That's another reason to run this dungeon is if you want... it's not too hard to get steel. You just need to get carbon. We're just locked out of it. And then, yeah, Dew Reaper. Perfect. I needed that. So I didn't get this bad boy. But if I ran it again, I would most likely get it. But this is where you get it. I usually get it every single time. I have like a bajillion of them. That's the full power of a BENE GESSERIT. You saw pretty much how easy I cleared this. And I'm using just iron weapons here. Have a good day, everybody.